Okay, family, peace. Glad to see you in the building.
He's late.
We're 3 minutes late.
Not my fault.
4 change is not her fault. What's up? You want to say hi? Say hi to the people. Say hi to the people.
Hi to the people.
People. There you go. How y'all doing out there? Black power.
Black power.
There we go. Are they ready? You think they're ready for us?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. She said that you guys are ready. So I gotta go with what she said. She's the next ruler, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna rule the world, right?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Can besito, Shannon?
Oh, that was crazy.
What más?
Oh, you did it again.
Eskimo?
Love it. Love it. How's everybody doing here? We do have a very important show for today. We do got a very, very important show. And it entails misogyny. That's a word that gets used here and there. I find it very interesting that in this community, if a brother POLIGHT, for instance, should suggest that some of our people are behaving like animals, and the ones that I made reference to were the ones that are pedophiles, the ones that are guilty of senselessly murdering their own for material objects, the ones that are guilty of raping the women of our community. I identified and labeled these people as animals. And people were in an uproar. No, you can't talk down to your own people because you understand why they're the way they are.
What?
I am talking about the rapists. I'm talking about the pedophiles. I am talking about those practicing genocide against their own kind. That's right, against their own kind. But there was an uproar, and I said from the beginning that people are behaving the way they're behaving because they have a personal problem with me, and they're not genuine about their concerns about the things that I said. Because then later I asked, what is a better name or what is a better euphemism for me to use when identifying the guilty pedophile and the guilty rapist in our community? Since animal is too derogatory a term for a rapist in our community. And this went on for weeks and weeks and weeks, and still people are trying to hold on to it, knowing well it doesn't make any sense. Because personally, they don't like me. But then there's another group of guys who walk around town labeling themselves after their religious conceptions. And they say a whole lot more inflammatory, vulgar, and very unnecessary things. But no one says, hey, we need to stop associating with these guys, affiliating with them, stop talking to them, because after all, the things that they say about Black women is atrocious. No, I realize when the attack is on the Black woman, it gets swept under the rug. When the attack is on the Black woman, it gets swept under the rug. But let a Black man criticize another Black man in the community. He's called an agent and he's called a coon. When I criticize Black men, they turn around and they say, well, how come you not working on the women? I'm a man. I'm talking to the brothers. They say, you too biased. Why you don't go at the women? Well, the reason I don't go at the women because the women are already dealing with a level of oppression by men. But as a man and my man standard, my moral compass as a man suggests to me that we should hold ourselves accountable as Black men. So I don't pass the buck and identify the white man as my devil. He can be your devil. He's just not my devil, because I don't want to simultaneously appoint the white man to Godship by endowing him with the coping mechanism of the devil. To make him my devil is to simultaneously make him my God. I refuse to do so. Plus, I don't believe in those fairy tales. I identify with people being wicked, weak, and sinister. But I'm not going to deal with these ghouls and goblins. See? Even the baby knows it's funny. So I won't be doing that, family. I just won't be doing that. I will not be doing that.
What? I get some camera time?
Just a little bit. Don't get carried away. Don't get carried away. Yeah, so tonight we're going to have a very important show. We're going to have you're going to pull up some videos. We're going to pull up some videos. Oh, yeah, we got to pull up some videos. It's very important. But nonetheless, I thank you all for coming in here. Showing up like you do so often. And I'm going to let this beautiful young lady, this naive and very gullible lady for being around Brother Polite, who just by chance, I mean, she's probably reading from somewhere when she's dropping all that knowledge, because she's not wise enough to make decisions of her own free will and accord. Of course not. She's hypnotized by Brother Polite. Look at her. Look at her eyes. Look at her. She's in a trance. I told you.
My Kanye stare.
See, I'm that good. Mannequin challenge. But nonetheless, we're going to put up the talented and the extremely brilliant Ashley, Miss Wright's way. We're going to put her up so she can just give us some insight on what rape culture is and the reason why this is important. So she uses this phraseology often when these type of situations occur and people get alarmed, like, hold on, because, you know, when women start identifying the inconsistencies or shortcomings in men, there's things that all communities do. All communities have this thing that they say to combat truth in a form of deflection. Take, for instance, if someone from the homosexual community is absolutely wrong about something that pertains to their sexuality, their first thing is to say, you're homophobic. And I'm like, yo, every time someone disagrees with something that's relevant to your sexuality, it's always a matter of someone being homophobic. Like, really? Like, it's never a matter of the person maybe just being right or having a different perspective. So with men, when a woman particularly says, hey, I don't like that, that's absolutely wrong. Or you're at fault for that, my brother. They say she's a feminist. It's a very tricky word, you know, because it's not actually a bad word, but the connotation now becomes very negative. It's just for literate people, though. That's what I'm saying. Popular rumor spreads, and then we get confused about what these words mean and represent. So the first thing they say is, you're a feminist. And then I'm like, in what way do they mean that? And chances are they mean it negatively. So that's what I presume. If a woman identifies the inconsistencies or the pitfalls of a man's doctrine as relates to the relationship amongst men and women, if she refutes his claims, if she feels his ideals are very dissenting, like if she feels his dissenting views are asinine, she doesn't get the benefit of a scholarly conversation, the benefit of a healthy diatribe. No. She's called a feminist. She's called one of those women who just hate men, a man hater. But never could she be given the credit of a thinking woman that just has a different perspective from the man that she disagrees with. Well, today, my brothers and sisters, we want to ask you all, what do you think about religion? Has religion become the gateway drug for misogyny? Has it given more impetus for chauvinistic men to run wild and falsely educate young brothers in addition to older ones who are just simply upset with their own personal experiences with women? And now they have a doctrine that concedes to every dissenting view that they have about women. And we also want to ask, how much anger can we demonstrate against women as Black men, knowing our community as a whole is living and suffering in America, in our diaspora? How much hate can we perpetrate against our sisters, physically and verbally, before we actually identify that as a form of homosexuality? There's different forms of homosexuality. And I believe there's a lot of covert forms of homosexuality coming from men in our community. Particularly some of the men that are the most aggressive and the most against homosexuality tend to strike me as the ones who are suspect. It just comes off that way to me. The people who can't stop talking about them all the time. I'm like, okay, I think you're trying to divert our attention away to see everybody else except. So I'm just laying down the foundation today, family, because there's a lot that we have to discuss. I wanted to go straight into this right here, right now, in real time.
Are we going to share that video right now?
Do you want me to share the videos first? I want you to build real quick, build some steam, get some more people in here, and then I have a plethora of videos, but I will show only 3 or 4, and we're going to get into the conversation.
No one wants to hear from me. I'm a woman, remember?
I know. It's unfortunate. That's why we'll only have you talk for but so long before I get back on the mic.
Man, you know, I remember the first time I can recall like a very misogynistic, like religious push. I was actually in college and these white guys were walking by and knocking on our doors and just trying to tell people about, I guess, their gospel. Interestingly enough, they were Orthodox Christians. I had never heard of that denomination before. But I think I had mentioned or asked about, you know, what kind of groups they had and, you know, the teachers. And they said, well, somehow that brought them saying, oh, we don't allow any women teachers. There's no such thing as women preachers. Women should not be in a place to preach or a place of power in I guess, in their religion as Orthodox Christians. And it really blew me away. And now as a mother, understanding that we are the first teachers, I can only imagine the type of disconnect and mindset that gets so deep and that gets so deep embedded to make one believe that women should not be teachers. With that being said, keep in mind, people follow these people. These are somebody's husbands. These are somebody's boyfriends. These are important people in some woman's life. And to have this narrative consistently pushed down onto women, you wonder why we have so many women disconnecting from being the teacher at home. You wonder why so many women would rather be at work than to be the nurturing healer at home. You wonder why it is then this eagerness, this push to be a breadwinner and out in the workforce and allowing other people to teach our children than for the mother to be the first teacher. But this is what is being indoctrinated into us. And if we're not careful, if we're not conscious of this, then you end up with a disconnected mother. So these videos that then show how men are trying to degrade us, put us down, shame us, that, you know, when POLIGHT brought up rape culture and this constant thing of making it seem that we are merely tools and objects to be manipulated with, to be played with, that we bring of no value, but to be of a sexual source for man. Then we begin to devalue ourselves. We then as sisters begin to also push that story onto our other sisters. We then devalue them and say they ain't nothing but bitches, that they ain't shit, that they can't do shit. You know, why don't you go suck a dick or something? Don't say that out loud, Shannon. Sorry. So let us be cognizant of these things let us start opening up the floor for this discussion. I'm so glad that we're discussing these things because oftentimes these things get swept under the rug. You know, what is rape culture? As soon as people hear rape, they immediately want to check out of the conversation, except the men. Their egos are all bruised and they just want to huff and puff, you know, and us women then cower back into our caves and just say, yes, sir. No more of that. No more of that. There is a way in which we can stand firm in us as our sensuality and our sureness of who we are as women and as healers and as the powerful people that we are without backing down to the argument, but yet not coming off as an aggressor. So I'm excited to watch these videos and then share, you know, how I would respond to certain instances in this case that kind of suffocate that teaching, that I don't give any air to it. It becomes I reiterate that you have no power over me, that you are not the, why are we handing these things? What can I do for you, Shannon? Okay, sorry. I'm like trying to share and listen to my child who keeps going in and out of my lap and putting drinks on the table. I really don't know what I'm just kind of talking and want more so being here as a source of balance that we provide in these conversations. You know, oftentimes when we start talking about women, men will talk about us as if we're not even present. Men feel as if they're the ones who should be, you know, owning this conversation, who should be setting the tone, who should be trying to fix things, but though they are not women. But that's often cases, which is also why you have a whole bunch of men, OB-GYNs, trying to tell women how to give birth. That's a whole nother story. So I'm grateful that POLIGHT would allow me to sit in on this. Give us women a chance to chime in, to say, hey, sir, not today. Not today, Santa.
Not today.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Bishop.
Okay, family, we're about to get turned up.
Why are the kids in the room? The kids are always in the room.
Why are the kids in the room?
Why are the kids in the room?
Well, the kids are in the room at the moment because the parents are here and they love being around us. And so far, so good.
It's the rabbits, Mommy.
We're just making it work. I appreciate the concern, but the fireworks didn't jump off yet. You'll be all right.
Okay, how about this? Where's your
Well, we got to get this work done by every means necessary. Not by any means necessary, but by every means. We have to get this work done. Just organizing the best tag team you're going to see out here in the community. And though we lead very, very busy lives, we managed to come here to y'all today and still give you these free streams so we could discuss matters that affect our community. I'm going to open up the live chat relatively early today as well so we can get into it. We're going to play these videos soon, and then we're going to have our discussion and open up the live chat.
About to throw back this shot. This is lemon, ginger, cayenne.
Lime, that one.
Lime.
Ginger.
Ginger.
Cayenne. You got
Cayenne.
it. You got it. It's a shot.
It's a shot. Gets rid of all the mucus. Helps the digestion. Really, if you want to have a really good crap, you get about 8 ounces of this right here, and it will set your booty hole on fire. But it will like push it all out. So for those of you guys who may be having any constipation, which is common in our people because we eat a lot of crap, lots of dairy, lots of carbs, breads, things that just kind of sit, meat. This right here will push it all out.
That's a fact.
8 ounces. If you're really trying to go, 8 ounces. still not going to the bathroom. Lime, ginger, cayenne pepper. Many of you guys don't know that. This is part of my everyday detox. I was going on a serious cleanse for about a week. And I have one of these every day.
What's this?
Bombs up.
See me?
Thumbs up.
I like to get my whiz as much as shots as possible so she can get right later. Woo. See?
Followed with.
See?
What's that?
See, this is the alkaline version. This is the holistic health version. I make sure she take those shots so she get right.
Shannon, that's very hot.
Then her third eye open up. Then we can get into
Spicy.
our metaphysics. Yeah.
Oh,
We're going to get into the metaphysics. So
Let me tell you
I
how.
just slip on her shot after shot.
spicy.
And when she get to her fourth ginger shot, she be right.
But hot spicy.
Let me tell you how I was dropping a dime today
On,
on Instagram. Because I was talking about what's going to be in this book, right? Because I really dropped the ball. And I won't have a book in Baltimore on the 17th. Don't say nothing polite. So, hold on.
What's up?
No.
Why you ask? Shut up. Shut up.
Okay, so let me tell you what I said today. I was like, see, nah, I'll be so upset when I like don't have it recorded, but I'm really gonna bring up a really great point. Yes, Shannon. Just give her ABC. I'm all over the place. Sorry, I'm looking at the comments. The comments are so good. I just saw, do I do question posts? Yes, I haven't taken on one in a while. And I'd like to, but the thing is that, you know, I have yet to become completely comfortable with charging to be at someone's birth. And it is a necessity, you know, it is a lot of time that goes into that. But for the most part, I feel like I'm working on a space in which I can be able to offer free services throughout the year to a certain amount of people to take on these births. Reason is because it is such a privilege and it's such an honor to be present at the time a woman is bringing forth life on this side, you know, and it hurts me to feel like I have to charge for that service when I am the one who has that honor, like the beauty, the privilege to be able to stand by a woman at her most vulnerable time, where she is also the most powerful, the most connected to the divine, to the ancestors. The ancestors are speaking through her, where she's instinctually moving a baby down. I mean, it's just like, wow, you know, and the oxytocin is flowing and you're feeling good and there's so much skin and the body is just emanating and everybody's vibrating on this high frequency as I set the tone, as I set this sacred space for this mother, and know that she is supported, know that she is loved. And at any point she's feeling less than the goddess that she is, that means we are not doing our job, you know? So I would definitely want to take on more births. It's just I've been so busy, and I have yet to put the paperwork in order to do so. Occasionally I take on close friends and family, and they've been so blessed by it. You know, my last one was an unassisted home birth, which literally is just me, the mom, her older daughter, and the boyfriend, and I delivered that baby. It was such a blessing. So I would like to take on more home births. I do. I need to just find the time to do so, and then go through that filtering process, that matching process of making sure that I'm the best fit for, you know, you, and you are the best fit for me, that you are comfortable, that I am going to help you create that sacred space in which your baby comes forth in. So.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. So I'm gonna play some videos for you all, and then we gonna turn
Kale,
up.
apple, ginger.
Kale, apple, ginger. That's right.
Kale, apple, ginger.
Let's get you this angle. You
Mama Ra, where are you located? Where are you located? She wants me to do a home birth with her.
Dope.
Send me another DM and I'll check it after this live stream. Okay, sis?
Okay, let's get you going. We're gonna share the screen and start off. Let's start you from some of the beginnings of this madness that we started chronicalizing. Okay.
Yay. I'm glad you guys are receiving me.
Peace and Hotep. This is your brother Sarnetta TV. Yes, for those of y'all who won't be able to make it in.
The white man can't even go to the bottom of the sea. You know, prophecy of Mary, a virgin shall conceive. The word there, virgin. Please do that, man.
Isaiah 4:1. Yeah.
So was the African that read that?
I gotta read that. I gotta read that.
You know?
You missed the whole point. You missed the whole point. Listen, let's let the scripture speak. Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, to back up the elder, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying we will eat. 7 means completion. Right.
Case in point, King Solomon had 1,000 women. He had, listen. He had 700 wives and 300 concubines. You know what a concubine is? A woman that you just go and do your business and keep it moving. All right.
Yeah, so this is the day that's fast approaching. And in that day 7 women, which the brother explained it, 7 women shall take hold of one man. One man.
Yes.
All right? Saying we will eat our own bread, meaning they're gonna cook.
You don't gotta do.
Now you see the deep shit about this is that it caters a lot to men. What do women get out of it? Just to get raped? What do they get out of it?
Hold on. Look. Polite said the black woman is God.
That's right. So she ain't about to
And he
get
can
raped
prove
by
it
no
to you in your
Israelite.
Bible, but we ain't gonna go there.
That woman, you know what?
But that black woman is God. And no God,
How do you figure?
no culture, no community is about to accept that God would have been all right with a woman being raped.
No, you figure
Because that's your mind. That's your
That's
mind.
not my mind.
That was my mind.
That's my father.
That's your time.
That's my being a
I
husband.
thought the same
That's
thing.
my being a man.
I thought the same thing.
A man, a husband, and a father wouldn't condone no doctrine that say at 12 years old or any age that it's permissible for someone to be raped.
Don't give me Judges. What is it? Judges 17.
No sane man is going to accept the doctrine at this point.
According to who?
You see, they said I was intelligent, but the truth is not with me. But this shit just got insane. Now I let them pass with the fish that ate a whole nigga. I let them pass with that shit. But you ain't getting the rape pass, man.
After his head open up, he gonna be flying, man. It's like Neo.
That's right. That's right. Let me keep going. We have to ask you a question. How many of your fathers here? Just be for real. If you're a father. Now, what if someone is overwhelmed by the spirit of the Most High God, and he reads your scripture and he take your daughter and he just raped your daughter? What do you say to that? If he lived like you live, walk like you walk, talk like you talk, because y'all live amongst each other.
Yeah.
Y'all live amongst each other. So what happens when one of y'all feels so overwhelmed by the spirit of God that when you see one of each other's daughters, you just grab her up? You gonna tell one of these brothers here, come on, you know the doctrine. You know how it get when you get.
Well, answer it.
We just told you that
How would y'all respond?
this time,
As fathers.
that was
But if it did happen, you would allow it to happen. Why? Because you go back to the scriptures.
You're supposed to be a brother.
Hold on. You gonna allow one of your brothers to rape your daughter?
You say rape as if rape simply means to grab.
No. We talking about. Now we read the verse.
No,
where someone was
you got
in
too
the
much
kingdom of
time.
heaven. Hey,
You got too much
when I-
time.
no, you read the verse, man. When the kingdom is established, we're gonna get women when they 12 years old.
Right.
All right. Say it again. As soon as they start in the kingdom of heaven, when their period starts, that's when they become a woman.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna deal with them when their period starts.
Right.
When their monthly starts.
Question.
Have sex with them. Have babies, man.
With 12-year-olds?
Brother, there's in the kingdom we're gonna do that, man. We're gonna get them young.
Where's this
We're gonna get them young. And the kingdom is right here. But the Most High is gonna establish the kingdom, right?
You say something.
Don't look up in Google women that were pregnant under the age of 12. That's got 9-year-old women that were pregnant. You got 11-year-old that were pregnant. As soon as they get their period, they become a woman.
When did Eve become a woman? When did Eve become a woman according to the Bible?
When did Eve become a woman?
At what age did she become a woman according to the
It doesn't tell you whenever she got a period. The same thing with Mary.
I got your answer right here. I got your answer right here.
Hold up, the elder got the answer. 12 years old.
Hold up, the elder got the answer.
Okay,
This is
how old Eve was?
yeah. No, not Eve, but this is general as far
What
as
was the
a
woman
woman.
created for? The brother asked. I think that's a good question.
We'll answer that.
1 Corinthians 7:35.
I can answer that one.
And this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, and that you may attend upon the Lord without distraction. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely towards his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not, let them marry. Now, when does a woman have the flower of her age? The flower of her age is a period.
Yeah, so
Power of age.
these guys are nuts. That's true. It's completely true. They are nuts. Let's go past that flower of the age business.
Men, if they saw a woman that they like, they can grab the woman up and rape the woman, man. And we're gonna read the scriptures. Let me say this. I'm listening. Most women dream about that.
It's true. It's
All
true.
right?
If somebody was to rape your grandbaby that's 12 years old, you will be all right with that, God forbid. You will be all right
In
with
the
that.
kingdom, I couldn't do nothing about it in the kingdom. In the kingdom is
What do you mean by the kingdom? This is getting crazy, man. No God,
How did you figure?
no culture, no community is about to accept that God would have been all right with a woman being raped.
How did you figure
because
that?
that's your mind. That's your
That's not
mind.
my mind.
That was my mind.
That's my
That's your
father. That's my being a
I thought the same
That's
thing.
not being a man.
I thought the same thing.
A man, a husband, and a father wouldn't condone no doctrine that say at 12 years old or any age that it's permissible for someone to be raped.
Don't give me Judges. What is it? Judges 17.
I'm gonna say this. No sane man is going to accept the doctrine. Okay, so we stop it there and we're going to get a special order.
What is this?
Now, what do? You're married to her. You can't divorce her. You can't beat her. You can't kill her. What do? You call her a bitch. And brother, you do it. You do it until, do it until it strikes home. Do it with every sentence. Do it like it's an exclamation point. Do it, shut up, bitch. This bitch, something that bitch. Do it like it's her name. Do it. Just keep saying it. Keep doing it until she just cannot take it anymore. Give her something to feel. Bitch. That's your kids hearing. And your kids come in the room and say, son, I'm saying this to your mother. You remember this. You remember this. Never let a woman take away your courage. Take away your honor. Never do it. You do this when you grow up. If you have the misfortune to marry a woman that says things like your mother says to me, you let your sons hear it. You let your daughters hear what they should.
Let's go one more time, y'all. This is great stuff. Because I was horrible for saying that our people are behaving like animals when they kill each other senselessly or they rape each other. I was called all sorts of coon and agent, but you got to remember what the white man did, brother. Don't call your people that. Don't talk down on your people. I'm talking about rapists. Don't talk down on your people. So let's watch this.
Now, what do? You're married to her. You can't divorce her. You can't beat her. You can't kill her. What do? You call her a bitch. And brother, you do it. You do it until, do it until it strikes home. Do it with every sentence. Do it like it's an exclamation point. Do it, shut up, bitch. This bitch, something that bitch. Do it like it's her name. Do it. Just keep saying it. Keep doing it until she just cannot take it anymore. Give her something to feel. Bitch. That's your kids here. And your kids come in the room and say, son, I'm saying this to your mother. You remember this. You remember this. Never let a woman take away your courage. Take away your honor. Never do it. You do this when you grow up. If you have the misfortune to marry a woman that says things like your mother says to me, you let your sons hear it. You let your daughters hear what they should.
One more time, family. I can't get enough of this. One more time, because this is intriguing.
What do? You're married to her. You can't divorce her.
Can't divorce her.
You can't beat her. You can't kill her. What do? You call her a bitch.
There you go.
Kill her. What do?
In the name of the Lord. In the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, the high priest has spoken. Of course, POLIGHT is wicked for saying some of our people behave like animals. Some of the killers and the pedophiles. Oh no, don't call them animals. The white man made them like that. And who made this guy? According to him, let's see.
Person, you can't beat her, you can't kill her. What do? You call her a bitch. And brother, you do it until, do it until it strikes home. Do it with every sentence. Do it like it's an exclamation point. Do it, shut up, bitch. This bitch, something that bitch. Do it like it's her name. Just keep saying it, keep doing it until she just cannot take it anymore. Give her something to feel. Bitch. That's your kids here. And your kids come in the room and say, son, I'm saying this to your mother. You remember this. You remember this. Never let a woman take away your courage, take away your honor. Never do it. You do this when you grow up. If you have the misfortune to marry a woman that says things like your mother says to me, you let your sons hear it. You let your daughters hear what they should.
Okay, family. So I think we're getting there. But still, there's some things that need to be addressed. How about we do this one here? Because this is all Hebrew doctrine. I got to give a shout out to the brother Gorilla Hebrew, because he happens to be, in my opinion, one of these sharpest Hebrew brothers that's out there. And even if I caught him slipping, I always got to give him credit. He's way more sharper with the scriptures than a lot of these brothers. He's very convincing. Just on this subject matter, he got to hold that out. But let's see what he has to say.
Am I correct so far?
Yes, sir.
I don't understand. Is your mother the devil or she's not the devil?
She is the devil.
So your mother is the devil because she's white?
Yeah, she's the devil because of the men that she descends from.
And would I be wrong if I wish death to the white race?
Of course not.
So, would I be wrong if I wish death to your mother?
No.
So, would I be wrong if I killed your mother?
No.
Come on, man. What the hell is this, man?
Now, I gotta, you have to allow me to elaborate now, because here's the thing. Here's the problem with our people as a whole, emotions. Everybody is relying upon emotions.
I personally didn't have.
Now, what do? You're married to her.
I know that sounds really weird, but based upon
the Most High allowed you,
belief,
a child, is to come into planet Earth through the womb of the devil. Am I correct so far?
Yes, sir.
I don't understand. Is your mother the devil or she's not the devil?
She is the devil.
So your mother is the devil because she's white?
Yeah, she's the devil because of the men that she descends from.
And would I be wrong if I wish death to the white race?
Of course not.
So, would I be wrong if I wish death to your mother?
No.
So, would I be wrong if I killed your mother?
No.
Come on, man. What the hell is this, man?
Now, I gotta, you have to allow me to elaborate now, because here's the thing. Here's the problem with our people as a whole, emotions. Everybody is relying upon emotions.
Okay, so I think we had enough of the Twilight Zone. Well,
Yeah.
Oh, we need one more Twilight Zone.
We don't want to hear
Now, what do? You're married to her. You can't divorce her. You can't beat her. You can't kill her. What do? You call her a bitch. And brother, you do it. You do it until, do it until it strikes home. Do it with every sentence. Do it like as an exclamation point. Do it, shut up, bitch. This bitch, something that bitch. Do it like it's her name. Do it. Just keep saying it. Keep doing it until she just cannot take it anymore. Give her something to feel, bitch. That's your kids hearing. And your kids come in the room and say, son, I'm saying this to your mother. You remember this. You remember this. Never let a woman take away your courage. Take away your honor. Never do it. You do this when you grow up. If you have the misfortune to marry a woman that says things like your mother says to me, you let your sons hear it. You let your daughters hear what they should.
All right, family. All right. Maybe I'm done, Father.
Thank goodness.
I got more, but I'm waiting for the daredevil to come out. I got more. But someone going to try to be slick and emotional and try to cover up for this craziness. Come on, boo. Let's do it like this. Now it's on. So, what can we gather from all of this? What did we learn today? According to the Hebrew Israelite doctrine as taught by these different Hebrews from various sects, that if you're mixed seed and your mama's white, you can kill your mama. No. You can allow another brother to kill your mama. Hold on. We're going to get this thing right. Hello? What's up? Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah, a death threat by Hebrews. Let's go. I love it.
Wait, he just...
Yeah, hopefully he gets the link when we put it into the chat.
Wait, what did he just
Well, he might as well kill me because, these guys, if you're allowed to kill their mothers and rape 9-year-old children and read from the scripture and realize I need to call my black woman a bitch because, after all, it emancipates me. It makes my teeth white. All I gotta do is just call her a bitch because I'm showing signs of courage, damn it. Never let a woman take your courage, son. Watch your big, manly man father call your mommy bitch to restore my vigor and my grace as a man. Yo, don't let her take your courage, son. I'll whip your behind. You better see your mama as a bitch, boy. And when you get older, you better allow niggas to kill her, boy. Yo, listen, I be trying to tell y'all, it's not that I'm not religious or into the God thing because I'm ignorant. It's because the people teaching it are ignorant. That's what's going on. The only hope I had for the Hebrew community was Guerrilla Hebrew. And all I gotta do is make sure I don't talk about his white mama. And he got a fighting chance to have me say, okay, I'll listen to this brother. Because he's sharp. He's very sharp. I don't know about the rest of you brothers now. That brother's sharp. But we're going to catch him slipping every time. Because if his mama supposed to die, then surely he should be dead too. Because if we are supposed to kill the white baby mama that gave birth to the mixed child, I would have to ask, should we kill the white mother before she gives birth to children? Quick, let's kill her quick because white people should be dead. Let's kill her quick. Because if we should kill the white woman to make sure she don't even breed more children, then Gorilla should kill himself.
Is he not considered white?
No, he's considered, they get their spirit and their bloodline from their father. Their nature and everything's from father. So he don't inherit no devil traits according to him.
Got it.
Because everything comes from his father.
Got it. Okay. So his mother was merely just a portal.
She's just a portal.
She was just a surrogate.
Just the womb.
Just the womb.
She's a surrogate parent.
Got it.
Those the biological parent at the same time.
If they're white. If they're black.
If they're white.
If they're black, they're just the bitch.
If they're black, they're a bitch. But if they're white, they're the devil. And I'm not affected by it anyway because after all, I came through by way of my father.
Got it.
Because according to them, the egg is dead, the sperm is life. All the woman does is just sit there and let the children come through.
Is that really the teaching?
This is all true.
God.
And you don't have the right to teach from the scripture or teach about the scripture unless you're talking to your children. But you don't have the right to teach the man from the scripture.
God.
Now, I don't mean making these things up. I got this all recorded and documented.
I think I've heard that before. I remember that.
Yeah, you have no right teaching spiritual precepts and principles to your man. Bitch, please.
Or to any man, right?
Yo, call her a bitch till your chest come out. Restore your courage, black man. Yo, he reading from the scriptures too. I ain't never seen none of these things from the scriptures. That's what I'm saying. Like, those guys are truly high priests because they got eyes and they see things that I've never seen before. It keeps me humble. And hey, our community, we need this. Why not? We need the mixed children killing their mamas or giving people the pass to kill their mamas. We need brothers to show their little boys and little girls, their children, how to curse out their mother until she can't even take it no more. That means to have a state of discombobulation. That means to have her so debilitated from verbal abuse that she just only conform to the weak and wicked mindset of the black man that has to castigate her before her own children. He said, say it after every word, say it after every turn. And y'all need to check out that website so you can see the video in full. So you don't think I'm fabricating anything. Because that's what people say, well, you got to see the whole thing, brother. Like, you can't just judge the Bible by one verse. You can't just judge a video by 60 seconds, brother. So see if I fabricated anything, because in fact, I left a lot out. I left out the parts where you can't get a job because of her, because she's so mean to you and talking so nasty to you. How you going to get a job? She talking all down to you like that. I'm not saying these things. I'm paraphrasing. You can't get a job, black man, because she talks so mean to you. Now, he didn't say the word mean. That's my interpolation. It's because she's speaking so mean to you. She's disabling you as a black man from being able to go out there and get a job. So what you need to do to combat yourself is to call her a bitch. Oh yeah, that's the remedy. And call her it so much, because she's married to you, so she ain't supposed to leave according to the law. So she's married to you. You can't beat her. You can't kill her. But damn it, you can certainly call her a bitch and do it until she can't take it no more. Now, ain't nobody mad at these brothers. Everybody's like, yo, let's get it. Let's continue to talk and hang out with these guys. Now, I ain't mad. I'm just interested in this phenomena where Brother Polite says, yo, some of our people acting like animals. Particularly the ones that are guilty of rape. Oh no, brother, you gotta see who the white man created the condition, brother. So when a black man tells his children, listen here, I want you to see me call mama a bitch. The white man's responsible for that black man telling his black woman off and calling her all these derogatory names in front of her children, his children, their children. The white man constructed that too. No, maybe he did. Maybe the Bible's no good, y'all. It's only people with the Bible teaching these doctrines. I don't see people in the RBG community, the Pan-African community, the Marcus Garvey groups, the Black Panther parties, the NCSDs, the real black atheists, New Covenant. I don't see none of us coming up with these philosophies. Now, the Hebrews may say, well, this is what Kemet teach, but if you come to the people, the human beings that exist today, we don't be on that bugged out stuff. They have to say, yo, this is what they did in the past. Well, we talking to y'all about what y'all doing today. That's what we talking about. These doctrines are very weird. They're crazy, y'all. They're crazy. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Shit is crazy. It just got crazy. This shit make me paranoid. It makes me watch my back. I start wondering when I'm walking down the block, which one of you Negroes would really be down with this? Because if they had 3 members, I would say they had 3 members too many. How you get membership teaching this? Or do you get so deep into it that one day you realize, oh shit just got real? But I think that the doctrine caters to men who probably are having struggles connecting with women. That's what I believe. Or men that's just very angry with women, probably broke up with them on Valentine's Day when he was 14 years old and never got over it. Because after all, how you going to get a job if your woman talks mean to you? I need to play that damn video. I'm about to play that part of the video because I ain't play it all. How is this black man going to get a job with her talking down on him? Now I understand motivation is very important. And the reason why I consider what this brother is saying is because he actually looked like he believed what he's saying. So then I had to consider what he's talking about. It wasn't like, I mean, if y'all are me and I am you, when we first watched these videos, we like, this has got to be a weird case of a sense of humor. I couldn't believe this stuff was true. Did you watch these videos for the first time and believe that these brothers wasn't actors? Or did you believe, yo, they gotta be acting? This gotta be a joke. Just call a bitch. Make sure your children are out. Make sure your daughter is there. Never let no woman take your courage. Call her a bitch. I'm like, yo, hold on. And you got these guys in the background. When you watch the full video, please watch the full video. They're in the background.
Say it like it's her name.
Say it like it's her name. Say it after every word, every other word.
Exclamation mark. Bitch.
Call her. I mean, and the way he did it, he almost swallowed his own lips. That's how emphatic he wants you to say the word bitch. This is what we teaching in the synagogues, y'all. This is what we teaching in the temples. This is where we teach it. In the abodes of truth. But even more interesting, ain't nobody gonna do a bunch of videos on that. No, everybody's gonna stay friends. They're gonna remain friends with these people. Because guess what? So long as you're tearing down the black woman, don't no one give a damn. Make me the center of attraction. Now I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, and you guys may not like it. Whether Gorilla Hebrews mama is white or not, I don't believe I should have the pass or anyone else to kill his mother based on me if I were the son. I just don't believe in that kind of stuff. But shout out to the brother for keeping it a buck. This is his perspective on the Bible, and this is what he stood on. Fine. Fine. Let's talk about the mother crazies, though. The ones who have daughters, and so long as their mans is Hebrews, they can rape their daughters. I mean, after all, we pray together. I mean, we're going to share bread. We're going to get this bread. Yeah. You know, that means, you know, we're going to eat. What did they say? We're going to get them while they're young, brother. In the kingdom, that's what we're going to do. What freaking kingdom are you talking about? Are you looking to die so you can have sex with 12-year-olds? Where does these ideas come from? According to them, the Bible. And you see why I'm so turned off. All I'm asking is for the true supporters of the Bible to turn up and stop leaving me out there by myself. That's all I'm asking. Stop leaving me out there by myself, making me feel like I'm the only one that give a damn about this situation. That's what I'm asking. Let's just keep it real, family. This is some crazy stuff. It's crazy. What you think about those videos back to back to back to back?
I don't even like. For those who know me, you guys know I spend little time and energy addressing these. I mean, these are the types of things I feel like should be suffocated. They shouldn't even have anywhere to stand on. Though we are always grateful for awareness. Rarely do I find myself trying to like comment on things that I feel are no. I mean, just none of that resonates with me at all. But however, it does want me to bring up a point about how he believes that calling you a bitch will make you succumb to his power, succumb to his will. And it's very interesting because oftentimes we've demonstrated that. We've demonstrated how just a mere word, and I'm not just talking about women and bitch, I'm talking about people in general, how literally a white person can call us nigger. and we start losing our shit. How a man can say bitch and we just start losing our shit. How we start to project the animals that they think they are, the low intelligent beings that they think we are. And so if we understand that that is merely a effort to control our emotions, then we can just say, okay. Like I remember I was in the car some years ago, I was driving and some white guy on a motorcycle rides up to me, taps on my window, and he goes, "You fucking ugly nigger," right? And I laughed. And I was like, "Oh, you reaching?" I said, "What you gonna do? Call me nappy headed next? Stop it." And like it just, because I was like, ugly, cut it out, right? I mean, none of that really phases me. And at that point, he just really had nothing to say. He was so confused because at that he's thinking, I'm about to turn up so he can turn up, or possibly, and then find some type of way to kill me. Find some type of way to say my life was in danger. I then had to kill this woman. What is that stupid ass fucking law that was able to get Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman off?
Let's just call it white supremacy for sure. Right.
So like it's that they are trying to find reasons, but rarely should we allow words, these derogatory words, to have reign over our mental capacity, our mental state, our emotional state. So when somebody sits there and was like, bitch, I would have been like, okay, let me know when you know my name. You know what I mean? So I have another great example. I was on the doctors. I was brought onto the doctors to talk about my pole dancing and baby wearing video, or when Shannon was running around, I was pole dancing. And it was really, really good. But when a lot of my friends and family watched it, they were like, why didn't you address that lady? She was calling you a stripper. She was calling you a stripper. I said, she wasn't calling me a stripper. I know she wasn't calling me a stripper. It was like, she was basically calling you a stripper because she was saying, would you want your daughter to be a stripper? And I didn't address her. And I think that we have to be so clear about knowing who we are to only talk to people who know that they're talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew she was talking to me and I felt no reason to address something that had nothing to do with me. I'm like, first of all, I know you know I'm not a stripper. You got my resume prior to me getting here. And whoever tried to pay you to have us looking like two black women on television going after each other, it's not gonna work here, sister, because I know better. I'm much more aware than that. And the power of you trying to put me down in any way, shape, or form is not going to work here, not today. And so, interestingly enough, once the editing was over, had I addressed that woman where I felt like she was calling me a stripper and then got into this whole thing of trying to bring explanation or justify that, or then even worse, trying to put down a stripper to make me feel like I'm above a stripper and what I do has nothing to do with stripper because now there's some shame associated with either or. It would have had me they would have edited, chopped it all up where I was looking like I was angry. I then had to defend myself. A whole bunch of things that aren't necessarily true are happening. So as she was able to say whatever she wanted to say, I only addressed that which is truth and that which is pertaining to me. Stripper had nothing to do with me. Anytime when somebody calls you a bitch, has nothing to do with you. You don't even have to address that. Somebody calls you a nigga, you know what I'm saying? What's that got to do with you? You know better. So let's rise above these futile, low intelligent planes. Like, tell them, try again.
So what we're going to do at this particular moment, we're going to let our good brothers and sisters get into the chat. We're going to let you guys weigh in on it. Tell us how you feel. Let's have a good time. Let's have a good time. And before we do that real quick,
stand your ground. That's what it was. Oh no.
Let's have a. Now you just scared me. We have like 30%. Yeah. Let's get a word from our sponsors. Okay. We'll be in Baltimore today. I mean, bugging. I'm already there. Let's just watch this video while I'm making errors. Check this out. Okay. Let's not check it out yet. This
Gun thing and vegan movement, giving food away for free. Yo, shout out to my nigga brother POLIGHT, confident, creative. You know we out here.
certified Deuce Hoover. We out here, man. Give food away for free. I'm playing our community, man. What I said was the #1 killer of black people is diabetes and cancer. From your alternative free speak there, we get shout out to the homeless.
So that is our brothers from Jersey who joined the Vegan Gangster Challenge. Doing an excellent job at that. And of course, we got this interview coming up.
Every single day, feeding the people, my nigga. I get a check every month for doing this thing. That's why I get my check. Give it to them. My body's full of bullet holes. It's full of bullet holes.
How much times you got shot?
I got shot 13 times, 5 different times. So and I'm out here with one leg. You tell me y'all can't help? Y'all can't do nothing? Are you serious? I got one leg for this shit, bro. Y'all here for me. Y'all can't go ahead and help? Fuck y'all and fuck your family. That's how I feel. Thanks. That's how I feel. And I'm gonna continue doing until I rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here for people. I ain't out here for myself or get anything out of it. But guess what? I ain't get no credit out of it.
Okay, so we have the vegan revolution that you guys need to participate in. Of course, we got the GoFundMe. Very important. GoFundMe. Just go to Vegan Revolution. When you go to GoFundMe.com, type in Vegan Revolution and contribute to the cause, as I got gang members nationwide joining in the cause to give away alkaline food to the community. It's working out. So shout out to the Grape Street Crips out there, the Hoovers. Okay, 5 Deuce Hoover. Shout out to my people out there doing their thing. Made me extremely proud, man. Taking the mentorship to a whole nother level.
Why are you trying to lock me out of the picture?
It was about me at the
It's
moment.
misogyny.
Do I need to play the video? I can never get to that point. Dang, they like in a boot camp, misogyny boot camp. That thing is crazy. And of course, we'll be, let me get this off for you. Gotta share this one more time. Of course, we'll be right here. Saturday, December 17, 2016, Triumph or Try Trump, Reconstructing the Maternal Consciousness and Socioeconomic Disposition of the Black Community. Lectured by Miss Wright, Brother Polite, and the live performance by King Los. Get your advance tickets. Be sure to call the number at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, 410-303-4120. Okay, this is going to be at Banneker Blake Academy for Arts and Sciences, 1101 Winston Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram, brother_polite. That's their Instagram. Follow me at brother_POLIGHT, POLIGHT. Follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/brother POLIGHT, and you can get your flyers and all other forms of updates. Now we're back. We are back. Peace, sister. I got you in the chat. We're going to bring some other family in.
Come through, Bantu Nuts.
She been talking about coming in this chat for so often that I had to make sure I got the link first before everybody else.
Who is that?
So we got a revolution going. We definitely doing something out in LA when I come back from this tour. So the first week of January, we're actually going to be giving food to the homeless. I got some Bloods and Crips that's out here that's down for the cause. So we're going to be doing that. Man, what kind of craziness people always talking about, man? I need help paying my bills. Trump pays polite, asks for donations. Damn, I see we gotta have the block party now.
Merry Christmas, Zeus.
Merry Christmas, Zeus. Thank you. I don't celebrate it, but thank you. Thank you very kindly. All right, family, I'm putting y'all onto the chat.
Hello, Trey.
It's time for y'all to come through. It's chat time. Look for the link.
I speak about vaccines often on my own personal page, so feel free to follow there, and I'm pretty sure I'll discuss it soon.
I put the link in the chat, family. Come in, make sure you put your mic on mute. Let's do it. I said I would do this earlier. Let's build. Ask your questions. Put in the link. Hey.
Who's all the women? Don't we women?
Put that on mute, family. Put that on mute. You need it on mute, family. Put that on mute, family. Put that on mute. Okay. Got the first set. Got like a starting 9 up in the building. Who's this guy right here? Let's get you out the way, my brother. What you got to talk about? Brother Maya.
Brother Maya.
Let's get it out the way. What's going on, brother? Unmute your mic. What's your name? Where you from?
What's up? Polite, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. What's good, God? Man, I've been trying to get on for a minute. Peace to the family. Let me be respectable first. Peace to you and your family, man. I love seeing y'all together, man. That shit beautiful, bro. I mean, that's beautiful, God. I'm trying to keep the profanity down. I know, you know, how your audience get.
Where you from? Where you from? What's your name?
Oh, my bad. It's Suave Boss. Brother Struggle from Gary, Indiana, man. Snapping off in the tongue.
Indiana in the building. That's what's up.
All day. I heard you had some land out here or something, too.
Yeah. I actually gave it to one of the members. We're planning something for 2017. Once we get X amount of membership from that Midwest area, particularly Detroit, Indiana, and Wisconsin, we're gonna make that our jurisdiction.
That's real, God. Hey, I remember I was on here one time, and you kicked me off so swift. I guess I couldn't get my mic or something working. Hey,
Man. Time consumption, and people be on me like, yo, come on, let them go. Other people want to talk.
I already knew what time it was, man. I was surprised you gave me that long. Hey, look.
Now, brother.
I just want.
What?
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
We hear you real good, King.
All right, I'm gonna stand right here then. I just wanted to make a couple points, man. Yeah, first I wanted to say, man, seeing you and your family is a beautiful picture, man. I love when y'all all be there at the same time. That's powerful. I wanted to make a couple quick points right quick. This is just what I get on the vision of people, other than what they believe, because no matter what you believe in, certain diets heal people and certain diets kill people. Certain geological locations, I think, benefit people, others. So to divide humans, I would divide them by what is your natural diet that puts your body at peak performance? And where does that food naturally grow on Earth?
Mm-hmm. Lights can hear you. I for one am understanding where you're coming from. For example, when we talk about, often people are preaching the message of everyone should be vegan. You know what I'm saying? But what about the people in Alaska who thrive on the different pieces of salmon? The vegetation doesn't go high there. But like I said, you have to be very cognizant. When we say people should go vegan or those that have to eat living foods, we have to consider that where our meat is coming from. So here in the U.S., where our harvesting practices are horrendous, in reference to our meat. It's not that the animals are bad, that unfortunately that we're treating our animals and feeding our animals, that then which poisons them, and then we then to eat that, which poisons our system, is the problem. So now we have to be cognizant of how to be more aware of that, and then make the conscious decision on how to move forward with those facts, which then obviously has to say we have to let that meat go. Now, for those who are in Alaska, we're having fresh Atlantic salmon, where their vegetation gets shifted, where by that time it's weeks old, it's withering, it's spoiled. It makes no sense for them to be like, I'm vegan. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. I was in Africa, and they in Europe they thrive off of pork. They thrive off of pork, but we have to be very aware that their feed, their cattle there, their pork, their chickens there are not treated for ingesting the hormones that we are here in the U.S. So I understand what you're saying in reference to the climate, the nutrition there, the feeding there, how they thrive off what is best conducive to their environment that they're in, the state, the weather there, the things that sort of that. For example, it makes no sense for them to, like in Africa, they have neem trees growing all over the place. Moringa plants are all over the place. They're not focused on kale. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the kale at? When they have neem there, you know what I'm saying? They have moringa there. They have so many different herbs that are growing there naturally that they're like, no, I got to get my kale drink. You know what I'm saying? So, makes sense. I understand exactly where you're coming from.
Okay, I wanted to say one more thing right quick. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, Queen just need to mute her mic. Okay. As in regards to the natural, I know this is gonna be blow, but you know how they say the man's nipples are they're useless?
Yes. Rudimentary.
What?
POLIGHT says that. Yeah.
If the women's breasts are used to feed the babies, couldn't the men's nipples be used to pacify it?
Woo! I'm so glad you asked. I am a huge component of just let that baby go ahead and laugh. Now, I know that sounds really awkward and things like that, but it is not uncommon for men to be at home with their babies and the baby is hollering because they're breastfed babies and they don't take pacifiers and they don't take nipples, that they will let that baby latch onto them. It's actually really funny. I tend to go over oftentimes with family jokes, like people.
Hey, POLIGHT, stop. I never did it, bro.
Hell
Stop,
no.
POLIGHT.
Hell no.
Stop, POLIGHT.
Hey,
I never did that, bro.
I see you later. Yo,
I never did that, bro. Stop, man.
I love you. Get out of here.
But to continue to what that brother is saying, it is not.
Hold on.
Like,
nah.
Because no, like
we had to kick him out.
It has nothing to.
Where's your eject button? I'm about to get you out of here.
Because it has nothing to do with anything. Sexual has nothing to do with saying now I'm replacing women. It has everything to do with just keeping it, utilizing who you are and what you have, not having to rely. Anytime the mother was out harvesting, she was doing fruits and gathering or whatnot, and the man had the baby. It's not a big deal to allow the baby to latch on to pacify, and it could be for seconds because the baby's gonna realize that doesn't really work for me. But they understand that.
So now this is what we're gonna say. This is what we're gonna say for that.
As opposed to like I said, it's going back to the natural state. It's working with what you got. And there's no shame with working with what you got. The father is well aware that he's not gonna be able to feed that baby. But he's not trying to feed the baby. He's just trying to pacify a crying baby because the mom's not around for a second.
Hold the baby, tap the baby's back, shake the baby up. This is what I'm gonna tell you. You are a superwoman, right? Mm-hmm. And this is why you need both people in the household. You know why? So we can find a medium. So you're a superwoman and you live in a real world, right? Where things should be a certain way. I live in the world where I just realized it ain't like that. So this is what we're gonna do. There is just way too much put on black men to be effeminized. So much.
That's not feminizing him.
Listen to me. We're going to debate this. Somebody got to put their stuff on mute because you're messing up the whole conversation. Let's see. This one's. Come on, y'all messing it up. Who's joint? Y'all got to put your stuff on mute, man.
Everybody put on mute.
Oh, I'm going to just start kicking people out if it's not working. All right, this person is the one doing it. I gotta kick you out. Okay. Come on, whose microphone is doing that? All right.
They got it. They figured it out.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. If the man can't use his nipples for what the woman is using the nipples for, then for me, it stands to reason that he can pass. There has to be something else that black man can do with the baby other than pacify the baby with his nipples. Come on, people. Please, hold on. I'm sorry. Please keep your stuff on mute. We'll come to you. Please keep it on mute. So what I'm saying is, listen to me carefully.
I'm listening.
This is where we're going wrong in the situation. Mm-hmm. I'm not telling you that what you're saying is inaccurate. I'm telling you that based on the time we live in, with them manipulating the drugs and the food that is throwing off our hormonal balance and triggering responses that make us inclined to homosexuality, this is not homophobia. This is a reality. Plenty of medical scientists are telling you, yo, they're purposely feeding us things that give us homosexual inclinations. They're telling us this. So since I know we live in a world where they're doing things to trigger feminine responses from males, then something like that makes me feel like it will trigger feminine responses because we're under attack, a sexual attack. We're under a sexual attack as black men. So I can't take a risk. I cannot take a risk.
Well, what is a feminine response? What are you saying? What is it that you're saying it will trigger?
I'll explain it to you again. If they're giving us drugs, that's giving us hormonal implications that offset homosexuality. This is not pseudoscience.
No, but
if I have to, I'll bring up the YouTube video. No, I'm telling you.
Okay.
If something, let me show you something. What's the big deal about women wearing form-fitting clothes in the conscious community? It compels someone to want to have sex. That's what they say. Mm-hmm. It makes a man think about sex. I don't think there's nothing wrong with a man thinking about sex. A man thinking about doing things in a capacity like a woman, that I have to worry about. And if he's already drugged or his food is already manipulated and the media coupled with those things are all pushing him towards this sexual inclination, then I don't need the stimulus of that man's nipples being touched by no baby because we're already under a state of duress because we don't control the information, we don't control the food, and these things are being manipulated. I'm not telling you that you're wrong. If the world was sane, this is all I'm saying. If we lived in a sane world, maybe we would probably even approach this thing differently. I don't think we live in a sane world. I think we live in a world where they take these things and use it to their better advantage and offset more homosexuality. That's where I'm coming from. So I pass. And you know what? It should be nothing wrong with a man passing on a child on his nipples. And I'm going to tell you why. Because he can do a number of other things to comfort that child. He don't have to have that child on his damn chest as though his chest can provide something better than his mother. No, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that in this day and time. I understand you are in you submerged in your consciousness. I'm not even telling you you're wrong. I'm telling you it's not appropriate for the era that we're in my opinion. Not telling you you're wrong.
Right.
It's too much attacks that we're under right now as black men. We have to limit this crazy shit.
Yeah, but if we always took that approach of what was appropriate at this time, then I wouldn't be who I am if I always subscribed to that.
Tell me appropriate. Tell me another. I can't take that risk with no black men.
I understand, but that's just you saying that you would not take that risk.
We cannot take that risk as black men.
But there's plenty of men who have done, and they're just fine.
Plenty of men. I was gonna say I need to see these men. I don't want to.
There has, like my dad, for example. Shannon once latched on his, like he was sleeping, and then Shannon had and then Shannon had the nerve to, because he was his shirt out, and Shannon tried to latch on. I mean, my dad was like, "Oh, what are you doing? No, Shannon, no, let's go." But
there you go. He said no
because he didn't like it. It's uncomfortable.
That's right. So. That's what I'm saying. It's not for us to be doing.
It has nothing to do whether it's for him to be doing or not to be doing it. But all that is like, do I like this? Like, that's weird for me. I don't like it. But if it's really something of, I'm trying to pacify the baby really quick, like, no big deal.
You're not doing that.
I would never shame any man who got creative with calming a baby at all, not even a little bit, because my perception and my perspective is not that my husband or my partner at any point in time was trying to say that his breasts are better than mine, or his breasts are in placement of mine, or that now all of a sudden my husband's trying to be a woman.
If you
like, I would not think that. I do not think that way.
If you catch me,
I respect POLIGHT's
if you catch me in the house, hold on. If you catch me in the house, man, you better separate my ass from that child, and you better lock me the fuck up, or hit me back in the head with whatever hit me in the head the first time around for me to do some crazy shit.
I was simply asking, like, what are you doing?
Exactly. Good question.
He would be like, I couldn't get the baby, start crying. I'd be
like, bro, you gotta wait, Jabari. Whoever Jabari is.
Like, yeah, right. I'm like, all right, well, give me baby now. He's like, thank you. Cool. And that's it. End of story. Moving forward. It's not that big of a deal.
It is a bigger deal. But I get you, because you've normalized the experience and the connectivity to children. So I got it. I'm not confused about you.
Right.
What I'm saying is the damn man is confused.
Well, I get you're saying that this is risky behavior. It can be very
high risk. High risk. Especially in 2016.
I think that we would like, I take the approach that the people who often tend to follow me or talk to me, they tend to be progressive individuals. And so when I speak to them, I don't speak into a space in which I'm talking to the ignorant, the calloused, the slow. You know what I'm saying?
This is why I'm telling you, we need men and women to converse. So when we have these situations, we can turn around and say, you know what? Find the through line. Like in a conversation like this, guess what'll happen? She'll say, well, you know what? Well, you ain't interested in doing it anyway. Who gives a damn?
Right, no big deal.
Cool, right? And in my world, I'm like, okay, we don't need that kind of behavior in the first place because there's just too many attacks. Now, this is another thing that I'll say. With all the things we have to redevelop and reinstill in black men, such as those videos we just watched, we don't need to even think about that part of the conversation. Get that conversation out, because our men are struggling in so many other areas where they used to never struggle in until this oppression. We need to reinstill and reinforce those things before we even start playing games or even contemplating. When I say playing game, I'm not trying to undermine you, but before we, let me reword it. Before we even start perusing or indulging or trying behaviors out that may even have been normalized in the past.
Right, it was not a
thing
in the past.
I don't know about that, but maybe. I don't know about that. Let me say it again. I don't know about that.
But then I feel like you're flying deep into the whole about little boys and dolls. You know what I'm saying? Like that tends to be shamed extremely in the black community on how boys should not have dolls.
But we can logically break that down why boys can play with dolls. We can break that down. That's logical. But you're not going to really sell too much to too many people a man having a child suck from his nipple. Because let me tell you this. If he can't even use his nipples in the capacity in which women use their nipples, he has no damn business having that child's mouth on his chest as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but he can pacify that baby with his nipple.
There's other ways to pacify a child, like give him to his mama.
But he just said like the mom wasn't around.
So then,
the previous example, saying the mom was around, or you know what I'm saying, like as opposed to just using a pacifier or a bottle.
Let me say something to you.
So when they're like, oh no, it's only safe for you to suck on this plastic, then it's for you to feel on my skin.
There's plenty of occasions where the parents may not be around children, and the adults that are around those children and those parents are missing. hold that L. It's just some things you just ain't gonna do when the parents are missing. You just wait until the parents come back.
You can't.
That's life.
For example, my mom, I
That's
told my
life.
mom, I was like, Mom, if Shannon's just
I'm not
crying,
gonna have a stranger do some shit because I'm not around. So the
why
stranger
they gotta
said,
be a stranger?
hold on, I'm just giving you an example. I'm giving you an example. Let's say it's a stranger who's also lactating. I seen this in the Fatal Attraction movies, and suddenly the babysitter's breastfeeding the damn baby, and everybody's like, oh, what the fuck is that? Because we know that's crazy. But hey, the mother wasn't around, so I decided to do it. No, don't breastfeed my child because the mother's not around.
What? I totally think completely otherwise like that.
You sound like you are just trying to win a damn conversation because guess what? Ain't no stranger titty going into my child's mouth.
It's not a stranger, but if you have like
I'm talking about a stranger. I'm not.
cousin,
You see, this is
mother.
This is how the argument starts. I just said I'm talking about a stranger.
Why would you leave a stranger with your? Why would you leave your baby with a stranger?
Black people do this all the time. It's called school and daycare and pre-K and all of that. Those are strangers.
Got it. Understood.
We don't use that. You feel me? But I'm talking about these people who are out there that may be using part of that matrix. We don't live that life.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of what you're talking about is normalized because you live in the life, so your perspective and everything is so broad. But the average brother and sister, they dropping their children off to strangers and they're going to work.
Understood.
And they learn those people in time. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I wouldn't trust them to say when I'm not present, try to take on some of my role. That's like, watch this.
Oh, wow, they done hooked you up, bro.
That's like when some people say, how you think you got the right to beat my child? I'm not here.
Mm-hmm.
They take it upon themselves, hit your child. Then we say, man, we'll give you the right to do that. I could do that. You're not gonna lay your hand on my child. So in that same manner, I'm saying that a man is a stranger to that domain. And considering all the sickness taking place today, let me tell you this about my children, y'all. Let me talk to y'all and tell you where I'm coming from. Now, I trust me 1,000%, but I've only washed up my baby girl, probably 3 times in my life. And that's because I just absolutely had to wash up. You know why? For me, I don't want to see my baby girl naked. I helped deliver her. She came into this world. That was probably 1 of 4 times that my baby I've seen naked. Now, that doesn't mean black men can't wash their babies up or see them naked and wash them up.
Single fathers.
Of course, single fathers. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean you can't. But in my world, if I got all these women around me, I would just rather not see my daughter naked. I don't care if she's a baby.
Understood. You understand that if there's multiple women around, then that is something that they can do.
Yeah, you don't need my nipples, and I don't need to be washing my baby.
There should be no shame associated with a father who does, in fact, wash his daughter.
Baby, we're going to disagree with that, so we just move forward. Shame on you.
How are you going to shame
If your ass got your...
How are you going to shame a single father washing his daughter?
No, I'm not shaming him for that. I'm shaming.
It's either inappropriate or it's not.
I'm shaming the man who puts that damn baby's mouth on his nipple. I'm shaming his ass. I'm shaming him every damn day of the week. He could be a single father.
You just used the example.
I used an example that was valid, but I am not about to allow no damn man in no doctrine or no community to have a baby's mouth on his nipple. We passing on that. That's never going to happen. That's a sick... I'm about to use bad words. Let me chill out. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry you had to see this. But you see, we debate up in here. We debate. We keep it real. We keep it real here. We can't play games over here. You know what I'm saying? So don't go acting crazy because we disagree. That's what makes us so powerful in here because she could dance with the best of them when it comes to this. You feel what I'm saying? But you gotta understand, she eats, sleep, and live this holistic life, this in her woman abilities, and so I get it. She is like, but I'm saying the world is sick, ma, and everybody ain't on here just drinking, killing apple and ginger, taking ginger shots of cayenne pepper, not allowing their children. We don't have our children go to schools. Even now, Nick Rose is saying, Polite said he wanted to go to Beverly Hills to send his children to school. No, that's what this Allah guy, this young brother Allah said. And he said that because he just don't listen. Because to this day, my children ain't been to no damn school. But people say these dumb things. But anyway, not that I'm knocking anybody who send their children to school. But to our preference, we don't send them to no daycares, no pre-K. Our children stay with their mothers 24/7, damn near 24/7.
Yeah.
It is a rarity. If you see one of our children that height, that age, separate from their mother, we work hard to make sure that that connectivity stays there until a healthy period in their life where they can start distinguishing themselves separate and different from their parents and be part of the world and adapt and learn new social abilities. Okay?
Or just even able to communicate that which is around them, that where they can.
Yeah, so we on a whole different plane. So what I'm saying is this conversation, we looking to connect with our brothers and sisters all over the nation. A lot of us are in a whole different scenario, and we certainly can't even take things to that level in the scenarios that a lot of our brothers and sisters are in, because there's just too much traps in the game for the brothers to get caught slipping. Now I don't trust it. And it can make sense, and you can drop it because you sharp. You can. I hear everything you say. That's what I'm saying. Look, baby, I'm not even telling you you're wrong. I understand your logic.
Right, you do.
I understand your logic. Pacify. You have it there. Baby might do it. Hey, don't feel embarrassed that the baby go. I got all of that. I dig all of that because I'm not an idiot. I can understand what someone's saying. I just want to put it on for the record that I don't entrust that behavior, especially in 2016.
Right, for the most of our people who are we struggle with that mindset that it becomes something other than just a simple act of pacifying. I get what you're saying.
It's just dangerous. It's just dangerous. And then me as a personal preference, for me personally, it would be nuts. But if we were to just use logic,
you have to think about your dynamic. There's no reason for you ever to feel that way with multiple women by your side.
That's also true. But I still expect the single man to also feel the same way. I expect him to feel that way. And if you're thinking otherwise, give us a call so we can get you right, brother.
Where men feel like, the single fathers shouldn't be sleeping with their children or their daughters, or they should not still be bathing with their daughters.
If they're single fathers, I disagree for a lot of that chaos. But at the same rate, as a black man, I'm still going to have restrictions on myself because I'm a black man. I'm a man. Move the race out of it. As a man, I feel a certain. As a man, I better get me a woman in my life. That's what it is.
Yeah, well,
I'm not going to make it.
You need to be a super nurturing, soft individual.
No, that's what I'm saying. Let me explain something to you. This is where single women go wrong, and this is where single men will go wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's wrong if a man is in the bed with his baby girl and he's a single father. What I'm saying is, if you were in a space where you had a whole family, would you do certain things? And if you wouldn't do certain things with the whole family, you have to consider how much is too much as a single parent. And what you need to do is commission yourself to get the opposite sex involved as soon as possible before you break those lines. That's what I believe. Even from the women disciplining the young men. A man can only take a black woman yelling at him for so long before you break in his spirit in a way where you may effeminize him or he be conditioned to being yelled at. That's why the rule in the house here. What's rule number 1 in our household? The women can't raise their voice at the young men. And the men can't raise their voice at the young ladies. It cannot be seen, even if we disagree. I cannot get caught once yelling at my wife in front of baby girl. We don't, because that's learned behavior. And our children are likely to pick someone reminiscent to that of their parents, even if they have bad relationships with their parents. So if our children, this is true, you're right. So if our children see us behave like that, they're likely to adopt a relationship likened to that of the likes of what they've seen their parents do when they interface with each other. So if I'm yelling at my wife when I'm angry, and she learns to just maintain a relationship with me, even though I'm yelling at her to get my point across, then it's very likely my daughter will learn to let a man yell at her to get his point across. So no, we're not going to practice that. But guess what? If you're in a single family household and you're handicapped because you're missing the other gender, then you're going to have to adopt personality traits that you should not have in the first place. But unfortunately, you are handicapped because it's one instead of two parents, opposite sex. So what we got to do as single parents is work that much more harder to get the other gender in place, even if it's not an intimate relationship.
Don't put that in your mouth.
Even if it's not an intimate relationship, you should strive to have your children have some kind of mentors or be in some kind of programs or be around
masculine and feminine energy
figures to fill the void that those children will be missing, so you don't overcompensate as a single parent and be in error for doing too much. You understand what I'm saying? You could do too much if you're out there not working with another gender to raise the child. You can wind up breaking the lines. These lines don't always have to be pedophilia and molestation. It don't have to always go that deep, but we still can break the plane of existence as far as connectivity is concerned and education is concerned. We may overcompensate because the other gender isn't present. We got to be careful of that because it's not healthy. It's not healthy. My child only hearing from one gender for too many years, most times, and not seeing responsibility delegated to another gender to talk to them when they're in trouble, it's going to throw them off. It's not healthy. It is not healthy. We need balance. We need to get as much male and females involved as possible when we're raising the children. Very important. Overcompensation can make us miscalculate, and we can damage our children socially and not even realizing it until they're older. And most of us are not even cognitive enough to realize the damage we incurred. And most of us are so egotistical, we wouldn't believe or conceive that we were responsible for it in the first place. So we put the two together. No one's going to take accountability for the children that's off in the world.
Okay, let's go to the next caller.
Who's in the next color?
Yep.
All right, baby.
Co-signed by the baby.
Oh,
Woman has spoken. What I'm going to do? She has spoken. Let's get to the next person. Let's get this sister. She's smiling over here. Come on, Queen. Talk to us.
She was just there. Where'd she go?
Talk to us, Queen. Otherwise, I gotta move on. Okay, Queen.
She might have stepped away. Oh, there she is. Come back.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can, Queen.
Can you hear me?
What's up?
Hello, what's up?
What you thinking about? How you feeling about everything we talking about? I know we kind of went somewhere else, but that was natural and beautiful, actually. The debate on how to raise children and under what circumstances or conditions. These conversations are not had as much as we need to have them
because
in our community.
And we have to have them because guess what? There's so many of us in this color as single parents.
I agree with her 1,000%. This type of subject matter makes a lot of us nervous, and many of us will not even go public with our ideas and views as parents because we're embarrassed. I mean, people are embarrassed to not know what to do as parents. Don't be embarrassed. Come on the platform, talk your talk, and let's build. We all got different perspectives, but together we're going to heal our children. Come on, sister, talk to us. How you feeling?
Well, my kids don't go to school. They get homeschooled. How I feel about the situation is... I didn't hear that.
We waiting for you.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay. So yeah. You know what I'm saying? My kids, they get homeschooled. I hear, their fathers' mouths about it. Unfortunately, we're not together. I'm raising my two kids on my own. So I mean, I don't know. This conversation is going left and right. It's a snake right now. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle because, both of you guys at this conversation right now, both of you guys are right. I'm putting my hands up. I mean, I feel both ways. You know?
Because I think what people have to keep in mind and what Polite was stressing is that in my dynamic, people who are interacting with me, we operate on a different plane. Where fact. Something like that is just, it's just like an instant thought, nobody really gives a shit, the baby doesn't do it, he probably did it for 2 seconds and then it goes on with the day. It's not a continued practice of a man feeling like, oh, I need to cuddle this baby on my bosom and latch him, and it's not that. Based on how we operate in a space of just loving, understanding a broader perspective of what is really going on, something that is not extreme, like you said, plays the lines of pedophilia or whatnot. Now, but he said because that is not the norm, that progression is few for most, that we have to be careful on how we share these types of things or speak these certain things, which allow Black men to then practice in risky activity, it being risky based upon their diet, their dynamic, their circumstance, their environment, their culture, because it is clear that when you look at me, I operate in a completely different space from the norm. Just in reference of how I parent, how I speak, who it is that I deal with, those people around me. So obviously, if I was with somebody, if I was operating in a different plane where, you know what I'm saying, it could trigger a lot of different homosexual type of activity or things of that sort, in which, you know, I allowed my man would, in his mind that wasn't that of an elevated level, then were to say, oh, baby, just give the baby to me really quick. You know what I'm saying? I'll pacify the baby on my bosom. But it's not something that plays out in my mind because that is not my environment. If anything, it would be like he's working around shirtless and has an infant in his hand. The baby lashes on. Niggas like, hey, what you doing real quick? But the baby is quiet for 2 seconds, and I'm just laughing. He laughing. I get the baby and go on with our day. You know what I'm saying? But and that is where we're talking about when we have to be cognizant of the different dynamics of the family settings and environments and cultures that we're in.
And I would like to say this as an example.
I mean, can you still hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, sister.
Y'all still hear me? Okay. I mean, I feel like the man job in a child's life is to be the discipliner, to discipline a child, and to basically put the male aspect inside the child, even if it's a female child. So if you have a little girl, I don't feel that, first of all, I don't feel that the dad should be bathing the child at all. That's just, unless you have to. You put in a situation that the mother's not there and you have to bath them. That's just, far as it's sports and, you know what I'm saying, like dealing with street life and getting the understanding of the outside world should be the father's job, and getting the sense of the inside world as the home and how everything operates should be the female's job. You in the hand. My dad raised me. He taught me about my period. He told me about sex, how to put on a condom. My mother was around. We just didn't have that bond with each other. She didn't feel comfortable talking to me as a female, so I had to hear everything from my dad. Did it change my life in any way? No. You know,
I come from a very different place and understanding. I think that tends to be the norm, that men should not be bathing a child. Men should not be doing these things. I'm very careful with the word should and shouldn't. I'm also very careful when we start speaking about gender roles, because it tends to associate a lot of shame when in positions as single parents, we tend to start to get a lot of anxiety on what a parent should be doing or should not be doing based upon gender roles, especially when one parent is out of the house. So we have to be very careful with that. Because
I don't mean to cut you off, Queen, but I tell you this, when I was breastfeeding my first child, when I had my first child, the father of my child was in the Army. So my dad was around helping me with everything, as far as, you know, like little stuff I needed around the house, far when I was pregnant. And my dad got really jealous when I was breastfeeding because he wanted his chance to bond with the child. Same thing when he came and visit. He felt very jealous because I breastfed my son till he was like 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard it from all my family, my mom, you know, because they got jealous. And the simple fact now with my second child, unfortunately, you know, he was getting breast milk, but he was getting a bottle. I didn't hear as much, you know, mouth about that. You say something?
No, continue.
I didn't hear a lot of people mouth about that. So, I mean, like, I don't know, like.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Just the breastfeeding. I mean, I don't really know what to say about this.
A father to breastfeed a child.
It goes
the
beyond
question
that conversation. Yeah.
Was, so though our nipples aren't good for nothing, could it be used as, could it have been a pacifier in the instance that the mother wasn't around real quick to settle a child? And my whole thing is, why the hell not? It's not that big of a fucking deal. And he's like, let's not even go there at all based upon the mindset of where we are.
To make a little...
Not, Ashley's trying to tell men that they need to latch babies to the
they're going to do that. I hope you know that. But that's not, I don't believe Jesus.
What's that movie where he had the
I think that in the
white movie where he had the little breast bra and the nipples.
There she goes in her Ashley world. They're not going to do that. She lives in a world filled with rose petals. I be having to wake her up like, these people are going to try to tear you down. They're going to get you, Ma. They're going to get you.
Because it's not a thing. Like, if a guy does it, like, in his own home, what's that got to do with us anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like...
That's a lot to do with it. But we're going to move forward. I'm interested in that scenario.
Wait, Ash, before you leave, I gotta ask you a question about the whole situation. I love you. You my homegirl. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I got a question for you. So it's about your pole dancing, mama. You be doing your thing. I see you. I want some lessons. Real talk.
I'm soon. Hopefully, y'all start teaching again.
Come down to the east side, Detroit.
Hey,
I got mad love in Detroit, so hopefully I'll be out there soon. I spoke out there one time at their African American Museum, and I had so much love, and so many people stayed trying to get me to come back to Detroit. You guys actually have a really awesome group of women that breastfeed there. Got a bunch of people of conscious women of color and mothers of color. So hopefully I can get back there soon.
So I got a question for you real quick.
Do you
consider yourself a goddess, mama? Do you consider yourself a goddess?
None of it. Nothing less.
It was getting good. I don't know if it's leading to another question.
So real quick, it's gonna be real quick because I just been having this on my head for the longest, and I wanted to ask you and the other wives. I just got this thing that, I've been conscious about 4 or 5 years now. I'm 29. When I was 25, I wore different type of clothing that, was very revealing. But once I stepped in the conscious community and started getting in touch with my inner self and knowing myself, I didn't want to be revealing. I didn't want to attract that nigga that I was attracting before when I wasn't conscious. And you know what I'm saying? Like that nigga, So where I'm going with this is, if you consider yourself a goddess and I can't really speak to your other wife because she's not here, but y'all have a role model, y'all have a responsibility towards not just your kids, but other females of certain clothes to wear. Because Brother Polite, I've been following you for a while, and when you know what I'm saying, like, other wife, I consider her a goddess when she was wearing she was doing her thing back in the day. I just want to know what happened.
What happened to
You
who?
feel me? I just want to know when was the.
He's talking about. She said, "Want to know what happened? How Annette used to be covered up. Now she wears a lot of really sexy tight clothing."
That's not true.
But I'm still that if you a goddess and you claim that you a goddess, shouldn't you be clothed as a goddess?
I mean, let's be clear here. So when we start to view most depictions of goddesses, they tend to be naked. Let's just go there, okay? Any depiction, artistic sculpture, art, back in the day, goddesses, these are high deities, were always naked. Their tits were always showing. They had very loose clothing. So let's just start there.
Thank you.
Secondly, when we start to speak about conscious community, when you become conscious, all of a sudden it requires you to be covered up. But to be conscious is to disassociate yourself with shame. And so when you start to say, I'm conscious, but you're interested in shaming other people, you're actually becoming even more ignorant, closed-minded, following that which falls under religious movements of how we shame one another, be like, if you are one thing, then you must fall like this. If you are another, then you have to fall in line like this. But that is not conscious. That is actually being completely ignorant and not aware to that, which is a broader scope of understanding for people all around the world and cultures all around the world and understandings all around the world. So once again, not only does that fall under not being conscious, but it also then falls under misogyny and chauvinism. Because once again, we are not powerful enough to control our own selves to then say that if we are nude, we are then enticing other people to do and perform bad acts upon us. So we have to be very careful when we sit there and we say we are conscious yet continue to shame our sisters for not being like them, thinking like you, acting like you, moving like you based upon your own understanding of what you believe to be conscious is. Conscious is something that is a continued journey of awareness, that which is your true self. And that which is your true self is not at all negated by how many clothes you have on or off. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, actually it didn't. I don't know what question you was asking, but it wasn't the question that I asked. What I asked was for you, but you know, I seen like certain pictures in your Instagram, and I appreciated those pictures. Certain pictures you had with your daughter, and you guys were naked. You know, that's art. I'm not saying nothing about that, but what I'm saying is 10, 15 years later down the line, when your daughter is at hitting, you know, puberty, and she want to do the same things that you do and dress the same way you dress, like,
I won't have a problem with it. I won't have a problem with it because my understanding is not yours. So, and then to assume 10 to 15 years down the later that that's something that will continue to be looked upon. Back in the day, breastfeeding publicly was the worst thing that could ever happen. Now it's like you're not cool unless you got a breastfeeding selfie on the internet because all the celebrities are doing it. And that was in a matter of years, or me just once again inserting myself and sharing that. I made that shit hot. Now you got all the people, celebrities of color, sitting there taking breastfeeding selfies left and right, glamored up. You know what I'm saying? Like. And so with that being said, who's to say 10 to 15 years down the line that that's not something that is looked upon as glorious as opposed to shameful? You know what I'm saying? And I don't view nudity in the sense that you view nudity. So oftentimes people ask me, oh, Miss Wright, why are you nude? First of all, my every day I walk around in sweats and a big sweater. And when you do catch me nude, it's simply pushing off my powerful images, me being transparent, not transparent or nude, naked in the sense of clothing, but that which is vulnerable for you guys to truly see me as I am, and not me trying to sway you with my Gucci shoes or sway you with my nice lace front or my silky edges. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's to say, here I am, take me as I am, and receive my message in its most purest form. And you can either accept that which is I'm giving to you or completely shun away from it. If it doesn't resonate, move on forward. It's not a thing. I'm not here to push my ideology on anybody, or I'm saying that you have to move as I move. What I'm saying is here I am in all of my glory, that which is showing you a connection, that which you don't see, that which you have only read about in science but have never been able to clearly see.
Okay, no, let me cut you right there. Isn't that brothers polite? Isn't that brothers polite to be appreciated and not nobody else's?
Nah. I don't listen. Can I talk? Let me talk to you,
That
sister.
was the misogyny.
It's
we were
all
talking
good.
about.
Sister, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sister, what I have that I share with her transcends anything someone can get from out of a screen. See, when we say these things, isn't that polite to share? What I say is, if that is the way you want to be treated or appreciated or embraced by a man, where you belong to him in certain capacities, and he has ownership or the right to restrict you from celebrating your beauty or artistically demonstrating what you deem to be a powerful and thought-provoking message by way of image. That's on your relationship. And I would never try to impose on you or anyone else's relationship for the rules that you subscribe to. That's what we got to get into play. But when people say that's polite and don't even ask what actually belongs to polite, polite has come to terms with his relationship with every woman that he's with, that polite doesn't own anything with any woman that he is with. At most.
I understand that. I understand that, brother.
Let me finish, because you cut her off, but you can't cut me off, because I got to complete the idea, because there's a reason. My thoughts are sequential. They're very sequential. You got away with it with her. But you know, when these thoughts are coming, you got to allow us to complete the whole thought process, because you're bringing up several things at a time. I want to deal with one thing at a time and then allow you to bring up another thing. So it's not like a ambush scholarship, so to speak, you know, or filibuster, right? When I'm cooking, you'll bring up another point. I want to just close out on this point. Please be patient with me. So what I'm saying is, I've come to terms that every woman that I'm with, I don't own anything that is hers. The closest I get to ownership is what we share. And that is what we choose to share. And that is what we legitimately and logically can share. What would that be? That would be our time, our experience, our interaction, our faith, and our trust in each other, which comes from a culmination of events. That belongs to no one but the two who experience it together. So I don't own nothing of no woman that I'm with, but I do share. When I'm talking about own, I'm not talking about material things. I'm talking about this thing that if a woman shows some skin, ain't that polite? No, that may be polite having a relationship with a woman who you are able to experience at certain length. Now, you may feel a certain amount of skin showing is unbecoming, and I understand where that comes from. Right. I never impose my will on people who perceive that way. Like, I'm not going to come in my house and tell all the women to demonstrate their celebration of beauty the same exact way Ashley feels is necessary to her cause, her agenda, or her education. That's not my right. No more than I'm going to tell another woman in my house, do less than what Ashley does, or less than what Aminette does. And speaking of Aminette,
I just feel like basically, if I'm in a relationship,
I'm going to let you talk. You're going to get it. I'm quiet when you put your build in. I'm going to let you talk. You said a number of things, and I didn't get to address a number of things. I was quiet. When you said something about Aminette, you also were saying something in reference to Ashley. Ashley picked it up. Aminette's not here to defend her perspective, but I am in a relationship with Aminette as well, and it included me. I just like to touch base on that thing too. I don't want it to go unnoticed or unaddressed. So I just want to touch base on that, and then I'm going to give you back the mic. Aminette now also was one who loved wearing form-fitting clothes, and she still does. And guess what? The more conscious she got, she went back into what she does with even more confidence, because the veil was removed from her eyes, and she realized, I should not be ashamed of the fact that I want to celebrate the parts of my body that I love. if a woman loves certain parts of her body, it is no one's business to say, well, you should not love those, because that's what you're saying. You're saying, without realizing it, you should be ashamed of the parts of you that you endeavor to celebrate. When a man gets a new pair of shoes, he stands out there 1 foot protruding on the sidewalk just to kind of let everyone know I got a new pair of shoes. Or he gets a chain, and he doesn't keep the chain in the shirt, he keeps the chain outside because you want to show everybody I got this new chain. Or he gets the car, right, and he pulls up, slows down, blasts the music so everyone can see the car. And everybody's like, yo, that car is hot. But when it comes to our own born assets, that we got to be ashamed of. So now, hold on, baby. So now we're saying that we can take more pride in material objects than our physical form. We have to be ashamed of our physical form and take pride in material objects. No one condemns a male for the objects that he showcases before the world the way they condemn a woman for showcasing what she has in tasteful form and manner. You feel me? She's not exactly doing some old sexual enticing and in an endeavor to really just make people fall. If a woman is celebrating her beauty, get the heck out her way. Not you particularly like disrespectful. I mean that like as a statement. Who am I to tell a woman who's celebrating her beauty, who's proud of who and what she is, who says, hey, this is how I'm feeling, actually takes it to another level and throws all the other content to it, aside from just celebrating her beauty, that this is how we come into this world. I'm not ashamed of myself, and I will not be ashamed by nobody else. That is your religious edict. Whether you're religious or not, it comes from religion. That concept of everyone needs to be this way because this is the way we perceive. Well, guess what?
That's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. But when I'm saying if I'm in a relationship, polite. If I'm in a relationship, okay. And
one more thing.
That's it.
When you say this last thing, when you say, are you a goddess? When you say, do you see yourself as a goddess? All right? And then you come back with the, if you see yourself as a goddess, then why you do this? That's religion at that point. That's what I mean by that. Because that's
not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Because if I'm in, brother, like if I'm in a relationship and I have a man, that's for my man to see. That's not for the whole world to see. Point blank. That's what I'm not saying. That's what y'all do. I know that's not what y'all do. But that's what I'm saying. That's me. I'm not about to walk around with street. I'm not about to walk down the street with my boobs out and my boob screens together with my man right here.
And you don't have to.
Looking at me, and niggas looking at me, and then guess what? My man is like, what the fuck is you looking at? That's giving my man, like they're gonna, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna start fighting over that shit.
Probably the men that you can.
Yes, but we're not in that situation.
We don't operate that way.
I'm not in a neighborhood where people are constantly attacking my wives to try to talk to them. I'm not in that space. No, I'm not in a space.
In Beverly Hills, if I'm not mistaken. Are you not in Beverly Hills, brother?
Yes, I am. And do you live in Beverly Hills to tell me how Beverly Hills is?
No, but I stay in the burbs. I stay in the burbs. I stay in the burbs, though.
Hold on. I'm tired of people trying to tell me about where I live through some pseudo statistics that they can't even reference. Tell me your reference point for what you're about to tell me about Beverly Hills. I'll listen. I'll wait. Tell me.
Can someone else come in? I
watch 91210.
Very soon. Tell me what you know about Beverly Hills from your personal experience of being here for years. I'll listen.
Okay. I didn't even hear you. My bad.
Okay.
Well,
tell me.
Like,
hold on, real quick.
But
this is important. This is important. Tell me what you know about Beverly Hills from all your years of experience with Beverly Hills. I'll wait. I'll listen.
I don't know anything about Beverly Hills, to be honest. I've been down in Hollywood, yes. I have been down in Hollywood plenty of times, yes.
I'm not in Hollywood.
And I know half of the females that walk around Beverly Hills is half naked, am I right?
You're absolutely wrong.
It's wonderful weather.
Who
wouldn't walk around that half naked? But what I'm saying is basically the bottom line is what I'm saying is with my man, if I'm walking around half naked, I'm not saying y'all be walking around half naked. I'm not saying that, sister. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is if I'm wearing tight fitted clothes and I'm putting myself out there to display myself, it don't matter if it's art or not. If I'm putting myself out there to display myself and my man walking right next to me, why I can't say that until when I get home and wear my sexy ass lingerie?
So I think what you're saying is that, you know, this is how you operate. This is what's appropriate for you. Bottom line is that we don't operate in the way that you only perceive what is appropriate.
Obviously, right. Obviously, right.
Yeah, correct. And so at this point, I'm not going to impose what I believe is right onto you, and you can stop trying to impose what you believe is right onto us, because we are clear.
Great. That is so right.
You already
understand that we are not going to merge into a battle. Like, now we're having a battle of perception, and we're just not going to see eye to eye. So thank you so much for sharing.
Okay, look at this. I got something for y'all.
Brother Polite.
Chill out. Black power. Chill out. I got something for y'all. I want you to meet my baby. This is my baby. Can you see him? His name is Dr. Sabi. I named him Dr. Sabi because the motherfucker don't eat carrots. My rabbit does not eat carrots.
Okay.
So I named him Dr. Sabi. I got him a month ago. This is my baby. I'm a vegan also. And I ended up getting him for my son. So I just wanted to let y'all know. Peace and love.
I appreciate your conversation and your
I
contribution.
love you, Ashley. I hope I ain't get no head standing up back there. I love you. I will do. Black power.
It's a great conversation for people to learn from. Thank you so much.
Eastside, baby. Detroit. Eastside.
Brother Polite.
Yes, I want to talk to that.
Brother Polite.
Yes.
Bantu. And who's speaking?
Who's talking right now?
Was that the Bantu?
The sister that's talking?
Yeah. Here we go. Hi, Hanifa.
Hey, Hanifa.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Yeah. I love those conversations, though. I thought it was cool.
I thought it was cool, too. And it was so much that I wanted to say, but I was like, I've been trying to jot down my thoughts to stay, you know, get my mind together, because she was, you know, making a whole bunch of points. But what I wanted to say, could you see the similarity between the nipple conversation and this conversation? Because it's always a conversation about what people are used to. If you could tell by what she's talking, I'm from the hood, and I understand what she mean by when women walk around like that, they're deemed as sluts. But a woman can have a woman can wear a full-length pantsuit and still be a whore in her heart and mind. What does that have to do with your heart and mind? Amanette can wear a tight-fitting dress and still walk around as a queen, one, because she's in an environment where that is not the status quo. If a woman walk around like that, the first thing to come to your mind won't be a whore, because you have several examples of queens who walk around also glorifying their beauty. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. It basically, sister, what we always learn is that people get out from here much. And that's why this thing, sister, you got to put your thing on mute, the one that they keep coming in like that. What I've learned is that our people keep telling me how the conditions are where I live. And they come up with this pseudo concept called Hollywood. And the men and the women are overwhelmed by this idea called Hollywood, thanks to Brother Polite, who moved away. And I keep saying, I don't even live in Hollywood. That's one. I live in Beverly Hills. That's two. And three, I have to start asking people before you start telling me about how it is where I live at, and how there's no black people around, and how I came here to send my children to some school. I don't know what school they're talking about, because UCLA is the only school over here. I'm like, listen, I asked, how you know so much that I don't know? I've been living here for years now. Where you get information from? But listen to this is the part that's more important that I'm coming to. Rather than black people say, let me hear how your experience is going for you, and let me compare and contrast that with the experience I'm presently having in my community. You see where my understanding comes from is this, sister. If I were in the hood, I would have my wife tone it down. Not because I own her. It would be a conversation her and I both have, because we know too many men in our black community are behaving like lustful degenerates. And we understand why.
And I agree. So that's why I was saying, do you see the similarities?
I'm about to close out. But where I'm at right now, I really don't have the problems I used to have when my wife used to wear form-fitting clothes amongst the so-called all white people that live around. When there's black people, you give white people too much credit. But let's do it like this. In the neighborhood that I'm in, most people still are with their wife, and they've been together probably for years. And when you go to the supermarket and you go grocery shopping, people know each other and they know that, oh, your wife lives there. I know your children. I see y'all quite often. It's not like the hood where there's gas stations in the hood where strangers could come at random into your community. It's not like the hood where there's shopping stores in the hood where strangers at random could come into your community. No, when you're in real communities, they don't want so much access to strangers to come in. That's one. In real communities, there's a consistent ratio of man, woman, and child relationships that have lasted for years. So when this happens, shame takes on a different presentation. Shame would be, how dare you try to talk to someone's wife? We all know who's married to who over here. How dare you try something like that? But in the hood, now watch people start getting spooky. In the hood, Negroes would know that's your wife, or that's your girlfriend, or that's your baby mom. But they don't give a goddamn. But guess what? I don't experience that in this so-called white community that I have several black people that's around here too. But we just on a different frequency of thought. There's a different interaction. There's a different level of consciousness and a different level of knowledge. So the behavior is different. So guess what? The dress is going to be different, because guess what? It's less condemnation because it's less animal behavior. If it was more animal-like behavior, then everybody would be like, yo, cover your clothes, because, you know, somebody might try to touch you, grab you, disrespect you. You look promiscuous, because if you know all these animals, right? Now watch this. Watch how I say animals. If you know all these people preying on one another like lustful animals when they see legs, if you know this is what your community is consistent of, then guess what's going to happen? You are going to come off promiscuous. It ain't fair still. It's still not fair. But guess what? Most people are going to start generating thoughts. Oh, she must be a freak, because she knows she's going to get a bunch of disrespect. She knows how the average brother is going to look at her when she's dressed like that. But we're in a different community, a different environment, a different setting, different frequency of thought. So that doesn't even come into play what I'm trying to explain to people.
The base is not fear. We're not operating out of space of fear. So.
It's not. So while people saying, yo, you need to do this way because you look like you in the neighborhood such and such, don't nobody say no craziness like that where we at. Because people are not operating on adultery. They're not vibrating on, see if I can get her girl. Oh, yo, I'm gonna fuck your girl, son. That's what I'm gonna do. That's the shit that's in the music. I'm gonna have sex with your girl. I'm gonna fuck your girl. I'm gonna steal your wife. I'm gonna walk in front of you when it's beat. This is the stuff we operating on in that crazy ass music that we listen to. Then you come outside and your world becomes a fictitious play on the illusion that was promulgated into your community by way of the media and its music and its corresponding movies. You're playing part of a matrix role in your community, believing that you cannot be better than that as black people. So when I hear this craziness from black men and from black women, I just say you think very low of black men and women, and I understand why, because I came from the same place and I had the same thoughts about women when I was subject to them until I later traveled around the world and got a chance to stay in different communities. And then I realized that was an insecurity playing on my mind as a man, because I wanted to make sure I don't lose my wife or be embarrassed by the popular consensus of people who are miseducated because of the environment that they live in, the restrictions that have been imposed on black women, primarily to probably just keep them safe. That's all I'm saying. I live in a different neighborhood, different setting. I learned so much more. All of us have. We're more free to make certain decisions based on the fact it's safer. It's just true.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Marcel.
It's definitely true. I mean, you said it all to me, it's all a basis of your perception based on your exposure and experiences in life. So if all we've been raised is in the hood and everything that you just said, if we see this on a daily basis, our minds can only perceive and comprehend it that way. And I don't think it's just people throwing shots at you. Well, I can't shot a lot of people, so I can't speak on that. But I wanted to say, I talked to my friend today, Ote, and we was talking about your polygamous relationship. He immediately went in on you like, yeah, he got them women control. And I said, have you ever even seen a video of Brother Polite and how strong his women is? I think you will feel really silly if you ever eat. So I guess what I'm trying to say, people are so programmed in their thought. It's like they be on autopilot when they talk. They just talking based on what, it's like he didn't even hear me say nothing about the women are so strong. No, man, he got them brainwashed. No, man, I mean, he control them, he run them. And I'm just like,
check this out.
How do you speak about things you don't know? How do you speak so surely and you're arguing with me and making a point about something that you haven't even looked into once, but you're so sure?
And watch this, sister. You know what? People say, man, how you deal with all the women? You must have a lot of stress. No, I don't have remotely close to the stress that one man has trying to make his woman dress a certain way, trying to make her talk a certain way, behave a certain way. This is a life outside of his very own. An adult life at that. Not no child. Look at the people we just showed you. Call her the B word. Call her the B. Call her a bunch of, that's a lot of stress in the environment. Dress this way. So you're gonna try to condemn women? No, guess what? I'm living in a world where the women are free. Now, if there's something based on what governs our household, like she's against, like let's say a woman wants to come into the house and eat some swine. I'm not engaging in no relationship with no woman eating swine. Sorry, like that has to be fixed before I even start communicating with you. See, that's priority. Other people's priorities, you just gotta dress this way. But I always ask these people, how come you don't have longer lasting relationships than I do? It's all, like if it's working for me, whether you like it or not, or the model, or you understand it or not, it is what it is. But yo, don't knock something on somebody who's finding success amongst the people that they're working with. I have less stress because I don't worry myself about the things that the sisters are doing, because we already know what we like and appreciate amongst each other. No one owns anybody. We may make suggestions and we value each other's presentation. Like right now, I could have told the sister, well, you know what? Talking to me, a man, about how you should be dressed, you could be disrespecting your man by doing something like that. We could come in and start playing with the relationship nuances. But guess what? Her rules are her rules. Our rules are our. That's a relationship. We have our own constitution. Okay, we have our own edict, our own precepts and principles that we follow. And no two relationships will ever be exactly the same. This working model, this non-working model that people are trying to impose on other people is no more than a belief system. It's a hoax. It doesn't work for them. And for all the people that complain about what's going on in our lives, it is a testament that quite often the things going on in their life isn't working out. And maybe if they can just convince everybody else the way things should be, maybe one day they'll have their goal or their dream. But let me tell you something. I don't pry into other people's lives. So concerned about the way that their wife represents or demonstrates themselves, because that is somebody else's wife. And if that's what's keeping it good, that's what's keeping it good. Who am I as a man to chastise another man about how his relationship should be with his wife? Every time these brothers do this in this community, these religious brothers, these Muslim brothers, these Hebrew brothers, okay, every time they do this, I say, man, where is your wife at? And why are you so concerned with the relationship I have with mine? Why are you losing sleep over my relationship? I'm not losing sleep. And at the end of the day, like I said, when you live in a different environment and you actually get the freedom of more choice because you're not doing things on the defense, you start recognizing the fact that, hey, we were restricted because of environmental circumstances, not because culturally we're bound to these decisions. You'll find that. We just got to travel more. The people, oh, there's half-naked people walking all over Beverly Hills. Cut it out. Let's just cut it out. Stop that. So people, like all this spooky stuff said about Hollywood and Beverly Hills from Negroes, and you know what they always say? I used to live out there. Yo, I used to work out there for my years, so I know how they get down out there. Man, stop this BS. Everybody, yo, I was seeing the money. And, you know, I came back into the hood to live like this because I ain't like how it was working at the top. So I came back down here, back down there to ask for donations up there. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. Like, you're purposely going backwards because you didn't like how it looked forward. So now you're asking other people that's forward to come to you and hit you up where you're presently backwards. Like, listen, it makes people feel comfortable to tell these foolish lies. But let me tell you, there's not a bunch of people walking around half naked in Beverly Hills. It's a very sane community, extremely low crime rate. And for the people that's like, well, white people commit crimes all over Beverly Hills. You would know, of course, because you live there, right? Like, this is how silly people are. Never would ask a black man, how is it like over there? Instead of us keep telling you what it's like, how is it like over there? And people say, man, you try to paint this perfect picture. No, it's just way better than where I used to live. Or you saying something with less blacks is way better? I'm like, you can look at it that way, but maybe it was the type of blacks I was surrounded with. Maybe it was that. Maybe it's not about black people, but the nature of the type of black people I was around, granted the environmental circumstances and the conditions. Whether white people put us in it or a combination of white and black people, the case of the matter is the black people I was around wasn't conducive enough for me to stay in that environment and raise my children and have a progressive relationship with my wives, because the anxiety brought about by way of the people that are in the community that don't respect family, that don't respect women. Okay, when people in our community can make videos saying call the woman a B word and they're more preoccupied with, yo, your wife is showing some skin. What about the people in your community standing on the street calling the women B's and saying we getting this from the Holy Scripture in the name of God? But let's divert our attention to the fact that this woman shows her skin. And you act like she's in some kind of porno or something. Like, if you really listen to what people are saying, you'll wonder if she's in some kind of porno. And prior, it was, hey, I would like to get some pole classes. And now how would your man feel with you cracking that?
I'm sorry.
How would your man feel while a woman who's with a man with several women? So I can be here like, word, you want to do some pole classes and everything? See, if this is about what it is, then you may got yourself all covered up, sis. But now you're like, you know, you're talking to my wife while I'm present. Hey, you know, I want to get those pole classes in and this, that, and third. That might be inappropriate. You see, if we want to play games, but I don't play those games. I'm like, yo, you got the right to say what you want. Hopefully your man is comfortable with the situation and we move on. That's all it is. Let me get this brother right here. Jabari, what's going on over there, Jabari?
He's coming through.
Unmute that mic, my brother. Dang, we be lit, man. This wind up being we always got classic shows, man.
Jabari. We can't hear you.
You hear me now?
Yes, now we can.
How y'all doing?
We're well.
This is my first. Hey, I apologize. This is my first time on here.
No problem.
I ain't never done the live stream or nothing.
Can you hit the camera? Because we just saw you not too long ago.
Turned it off.
You turned the camera off. Just hit the camera icon at the top of your screen in the middle.
There you are.
There you go. See you. Go ahead and talk, my brother.
You got me?
Yep.
You got me?
How you feeling? What's your name? Where you from?
My name is Newcomb. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. What's going on?
What's up, King?
And not too much, man. Just again.
Yeah, your signal's breaking up, but I'm trying to work with you.
I know I'm in bad signal. Can you hear me now?
A little bit. Keep talking.
Bear with me. This is my first time ever. Like, I ain't even been on Facebook Live, but about a month. Shit, I was just listening to the conversation and shit, letting my daughters check out what's going on.
Okay.
Based on the
channel listening to it. I can't never get on the live stream, but shit, tonight I just popped up on her. So I guess just bear and hopefully I can catch the next one and chime in. And is my signal all right?
It's better, yeah.
It's better. Keep flowing.
It's a little better. Okay, that's right. Shit. Man, it's my first time on. I don't know what to say with something.
You have to come back, man. Go come back. Go back.
Figure it out so I can go to somebody else, my brother.
My bad. I know how it is. My bad.
Oh, bro. I thank you for even just coming in and just that love, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Catch on then. I appreciate.
Okay, let's get Asa. What's up, sis?
Hey, Polite.
How you doing, sister? What's your name? Where you from?
Asa. I'm from Baltimore, so I'll see you on Saturday, but I'm currently in Pennsylvania for school.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing you, sis. Let's get it. Baltimore, the 17th this weekend. We litty.
Yes, I wrote you a letter like last year in January, and you responded to it, but that's aside from the point. But what I find interesting is how men are never asked to take responsibility for their actions whenever these situations come up.
Mm-hmm.
And that just plays to the misogyny of Christianity.
Mm.
And it's just something that has to be combated. I mean, if we're going to call ourselves a conscious community and then never actually enact these skills as if we're aware of what we have going on in our lives, so what actually makes you conscious then? I have to wonder, because you're still thinking in a dogmatic sort of way, and that's counter-effective to our progression as a people.
I agree with you, sister.
Yeah, so, and like when she called your wife, one thing I picked up on when she said that Aminette was a role model, and then she just immediately thought of her dressing. She didn't look at the mothering. She didn't look at her as far as being a cook, as far as cooking for the family. She didn't look at her and say that, wow, she's a sister wife. How does she maintain that sisterhood for, 10 years extended? She didn't look at her as a wife. And so my thing is, why is it instinctively, okay, she has to be viewed objectively as an image of beauty, rather than say, oh, this is how she is maternally, this is how she is as a supporter of the family. You play many facets as far as being a wife and a contributor to the household. So to just say that, oh, she's curvy and she's built like this and, her breasts are out. Okay, but now you're thinking as if you're a man. And so with women, that's still that instinctive competition there. Oh, she's doing this and she's doing that, and she's initially enticing. Why does it have to be that way? Because when I see her, that's not my initial view of her. I look at her, I'm like, wow, she's so supportive. How does she, ride with him all those years through the bookstore, through now Beverly Hills, through by having another wife? So we just have to remove some of those notions from our head that we initially are conceived with, and just try to just take it one step at a time, I would say.
I agree with you so much. I love your perspective. You said it so eloquently, and it's so necessary at this time. What exactly are you in school for?
Oh, anthropology, international affairs, and African studies.
Yikes. That's great. I'm so proud of you, sister.
Thank you. If you're ever by the Penn State area, let me know. And if you're ever in the DMV, let me know too.
No doubt. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Baltimore this Saturday. You got me very, very proud to know that people such as yourself are tuning in and keeping abreast of what we're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
When we get there to Baltimore, that you say hi to us, all right?
Okay.
Thank you for your intelligence and what you contributed to the platform. That was powerful.
You're welcome. Thank you.
They can hear us.
They don't know who I pointed at though.
Okay.
Okay, go with that guy.
Who's this guy? All right,
Okay, go with that guy.
What's up, King? Pay attention. We looking at you. There you go. What's up? What's up, King? Yeah, you.
Hold on.
What's up, brother?
You just muted him.
Nah, that's him. He did that. What's your name? Where you from, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, just turn your volume down.
Say that again.
Turn your volume down on your computer so we don't hear the feedback.
All right.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yep. I still hear you. Just try to put the volume down. Don't put it on mute. Just put your volume down.
All right. I got a little Bluetooth speaker on. Is that gonna mess it up?
No, it's fine.
Nah, that's.
Oh wait.
All right. Yeah, Marcus from Battle Creek, Michigan.
Yeah.
Just calling in, you know, showing love and support. You know, I ain't really got much to contribute to the conversation. You know, I've been in and out. You know, I'm working on this vlog right now, so I don't know. I just came to show some support, man. Just keep doing it. You know, I like the conversation I had on
no doubt.
Misogyny, you know, as far as religion is concerned. And, you know, one scripture that stood out to me as far as Christianity is concerned, you know, it's the scripture over in, man, I forgot what chapter of the Bible it is, but concerning Lot, you know, when the angels was coming into the Sodom and Gomorrah and God was to make judgment on that city. You know, I found it interesting how God's moral standpoint, you know, allowed for Lot to offer his daughters in that situation as far as, you know, rather than his sons to be raped, you know. And then another point in the Bible that I brought out was about, you know, when the women were having children that, you know, they were unclean for a longer period of time if they were to have a woman versus a man. So, you know, those are a couple viewpoints I had in my mind about where I can agree with you as far as the Bible bringing out, you know, misogyny viewpoints.
No doubt, my brother. Let me keep this thing rolling because we'll soon be closing out. Thank you for your contribution. You said you're in Michigan, right?
Yeah, I appreciate
it. Okay, let's go here. Bruce, brother Bruce. What's up, King? What's your name? Where you from? Let's go, brother Bruce. We talking to you, Bruce. Let's get it.
Hey, what's up, fam?
Hey, what's up, King?
Cool. Hey, I'm coming in from VA, Virginia.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I went to school in Virginia.
Oh, nice. Very nice. It's not bad down here, man. You guys, respect to you guys. I respect what you're doing, man. Polite, you've been taking a lot of fire lately, man. I've been seeing people slip some serious sneak disses on you, man. But listen, you know, like I've been watching the whole thing unfold. This is not really what I want to discuss, but I just want to say, man, through all of it, you know, commerce meets consciousness is genius, man. I mean, just that alone. And I think like folks need to pause and not hate on that. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Because like, you know, most folks who are conscious, like you say, are like under the poor righteous teacher, you know what I'm saying, like concept and whatnot. And folks know they need to get money and take care of their family. So at the end of the day, man, they just need to vibe with what you're doing and quit the sneak dissing. But I got a question for you, man. I heard you say that you're going to Ghana soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool, man. My wife is actually from Ghana. She's in Ghana right now.
Oh, that's what's up.
She's an actor there, man. She used to she was on a big TV show called Things We Do for Love, like when she was a teenager.
No doubt.
And you know what I'm saying, like she's still doing the things. In fact, she's over there with my youngest son now, and she's doing some work with the National Theater and also with the in a couple of different shows that are coming out. But man, we had this question once she started getting back into like the acting game. We had to confront this, and I want to hear your perspective and maybe Ms. Wright's perspective on it too.
No doubt.
For a person who's, you know what I'm saying, married to someone who's in the acting game, what do you think about the spouse engaging in physical contact like kissing? You know what I'm saying? As an actor,
for me, I don't want to watch nobody acting like they're making love to my wife. I just haven't evolved to that level, and I doubt I will. But I'm not knocking people. It brings in the checks, and you do what you do, and that's a conversation that the husband and the wife should have. I'm probably old-fashioned in the sense. I don't want to see a man saying, "I was only pretending to touch your wife's ass." I don't know how deep that gets. I would believe if I'm going to do a hell of a job acting, I would want me to grow. I would want me to be erect. I would want me to really sweat and kiss. Because if I was acting like I was kissing somebody in the scene, damn it, I'm going to go all the way in. And so the goal is to establish real emotions. Right?
Right.
And to do this with somebody just for the movie, and then after that, nobody deals with nobody after that. Acting is a job, and that has to take place. I'm just not interested in that part of the job. So I'm not with it, but I don't condemn anybody who deals with the art and may still be in relationships. I think that that relationship is consistent with people who have very strong or very great state of mental fortitude for them to be able to endure. But at the same rate, everybody's built differently and have different reasons, and everyone has their own limitations and constraints and their own walls or, facets that formulate their ideas and thoughts. So everybody's different. So for me, that's not something that I'm particularly interested in. I don't like it, and that's just my opinion.
I got you, man. I think I'm with you. I ain't that different either. You know what I'm saying? But fortunately, we got through that hurdle. I couldn't feel that because you got to evoke real emotion to make the acting good.
I believe that. It's one thing to be in a relationship with somebody. It's another thing to be pretending to be in a relationship with somebody. And to get off and have that experience only for that short period of time. I don't like it, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. That's an art for people. I'm not as evolved where I can tolerate that. Now, somebody wrote in the chat, so then what is polygyny? Polygyny is not no damn Hollywood act. This is something I'm living my life with every single day. It's not a Hollywood act. So to try to make the comparison is ridiculous. We're talking about a professional job where someone has to engage somebody in a relationship temporarily and then come back to their home and upkeep that relationship. I have the right to say I feel uncomfortable. So what about the women in your relationship? They're obviously not uncomfortable if they're in the relationship. Hence the reason why there's freedom, and that's why I stress freedom in the relationship. Why? Because I don't want to oppress people. And then one day they meet a man that liberates them, because I've been over here trying to oppress them. And one day you throw the reverse G. See me, I would let you dress the way you want, or I wouldn't try to tell you to eat this way or drink that way. I would just have you see when that starts happening. That's the whole reason why men are trying to keep the women captive, because they know one day the real dude is going to meet her, and she's going to be liberated, and she's what the hell was I in this whole time? Life felt good for 2-3 hours. Shit, I've been in this for 2-3 years, and in 2-3 hours, he done overcame everything, every hurdle and every obstacle I've ever had in this relationship. So for me, I'm like, look, I would rather not be with somebody who can't handle things that I like, and vice versa. So we can give each other the opportunity to be with people where there's better chemistry than to try to confine somebody to a lifestyle that they're obviously not happy with. I don't know how men live with women that they have to try to keep telling the way they want them to be. Like, that is just stressful. Right. Why don't you just wait until you meet with somebody that can tolerate you? Because that's what this is all about. Can we tolerate each other? And ultimately, can we build something that transcends the physical realm and its expectations? That's what this is about. You see me? Like, it's not a lot of women that I can build with on the level like when I'm with Ash. Like, we be building. When I say we build, sometimes when we try to get off the phone with each other, we know each other. We're in each other's house. But guess what? When we try to get off the phone, just trying to get off the phone take damn near an hour.
I know. I always have to be like, polite.
Yeah.
I have to get something done.
You feel me? Now, you can't share that with anybody. It's just real. Like, I'm not going to be stimulated that much by just anybody. She stimulates my mind. I got a sapiosexual relationship with her. That means that I am enticed and I am very attracted to her because of what comes out of her mouth in terms of what she was just thinking. It's a sapiosexual connection. Yes. You feel me? I believe she's physically, definitely, thanks. I believe she's physically attractive, right? But at this stage in my life, I'm no stranger to being around physically attractive women. I'm no stranger. Right. I have great opportunities and people who presented themselves that are interested in relationships I'm a grown man. I hate to be a brother saying I'm a grown man because I hate when black people say it. But I'm not saying it to be combative against something someone accused me of. I'm saying I'm entirely too old to just have relationships with because I'm infatuated with their behind or with their arms and their legs. This goes deeper for me because I've had the opportunity to experience different women of so many different physical levels that right now the only thing that can really keep me in a relationship would be the mind of the sister. Of course, I want to be physically attracted to them, so I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm physically attracted to them. If I wasn't, I probably wouldn't even be sitting next to them. This is how my world. This is true. However, it is not priority because I'm just too old. I'm too old to make those kind of decisions, brother, because I got children already in the game. I already got wives, I already got a household, we already got businesses together. I can't mess around and just because I'm physically attracted to somebody, let's try to have a relationship. That's where we go wrong all the time. But for me, I want to be attracted to you. But what cements the deal, what laments this whole thing is the ability for her to articulate what she wants. It don't even have to be math and science per se. She knows what she wants. She knows why she wants it, and she can articulate it without anyone's assistance. See, for me, I need somebody that can disagree with me and make me concede to their ideas without my aid. Like, I don't need to argue with a woman, prove my point, and then come over here and try to help her prove hers. Like, that's just insane.
Right.
There's no mental stimulus.
Agreed.
You feel me? So
Agreed.
with her, she bodies the information. She makes me think about things from a perspective I never thought about before. She challenges me to challenge my views.
Right.
Her and I challenge myself. So that's why I'm like, yo, I gotta be around her. You feel what I'm saying? I just gotta be around her. That's the appreciation. Guess what? Brothers drop science too. But the way I respond to a woman dropping the science, I believe is part of the chemistry that makes the man-woman dynamic so special. So when a woman, like I said, doesn't have to be mad for science, just her ability to assert herself as being sure and having the conviction to solidify or back up her points does everything for me. Does everything, because I don't need no young women around me, because my house will fall down if I had nothing but women around me that, yes, right. Then what if I'm going the wrong freaking direction? I'm at like 5, 6 people telling me, like, yo, anything. Like, then when the shit go to hell, who am I gonna go to the actual help or assistance? I wouldn't even have to go outside my household for sane individuals who can think for themselves because the women that I'm picking can't. Like, that would be insane. So people don't know how deep this gets when they hypnotize. Oh, you know, he's getting young women and, you know, he's bamboozling these young women. I'm like, how young, you know, that's a beautiful thing because we in the vegan culture. So I don't know, they talk like these women is like, you know, in their teens or something. But, you know, these 20-year-old women, man, like 20-plus-year-old women. You feel me? 29. Yeah. Like, 32. You feel me? Like, these are not like little girls here. You feel me what I'm saying?
I think you know, I don't want to keep too long. I know other folks got to come on, but man, just listening to the other young ladies speak, man, I think like we talk about like a woman being, you know, labeled promiscuous because she may be wearing form-fitting clothes. Like that's really the perception of the environment projecting their ideas onto her. And I think a lot of women end up, you know what I'm saying, they end up accepting that, and they interpret that type of dress the same way that the environment projects the ideas. And I think it's interesting that a lot of people who are in that environment and they assume that mindset when they get into a relationship, they project their ideas on the people, like the girl was doing you guys. I mean, because I think y'all broke it down. I mean, Miss Wright, y'all should have said nothing after her. I mean, she murdered it. She killed the explanation, and I didn't think it needed any more else explaining. But because old girl was so she was so fixed in the way she saw things, she was projecting like her view of reality on you guys. And sometimes folks don't realize that that's what they're doing, man.
And that's why she was like,
yeah, go ahead.
Like, we can move on. Enough is enough. I'm like, yeah, she's right. And that's why she said, right here. If she feels the energy, you know what I do? She said, I was going to go here. She said, go this person. I just, yeah, she right. We got to get used to that because we got to trust their instincts as well. We can't just sit here and be like, I'm running every dang thing. So she's like, yo, conversation done, Pete. I'm like, but it's done. Trust me. Yeah. All right.
No doubt. No doubt.
Well, you see, that's what I'm talking about with the balance, though. That's what we need. That's what brings about harmony. That's what puts you in check. Because again, you don't want to overcompensate for your gender. You feel what I'm saying? You don't want to overcompensate. You don't want to be in your male space for so long or your female space for so long. It's hard for you to interface with other gender because you just be in that space so much. You feel me? So that's why, you know, I feel there's women, like, I'm not going to mention the wives of people that imagine stuff, but, you know, I have a wife that just loves being naked every damn opportunity she gets. Anytime I could go in the room, we call her Amazon girl. You know what I'm saying? Because she's always, you never open the door without understanding that you just really need to knock or just understand if you move the cover, she naked. Or she can just walk around the house and cook. She would just cook naked. So what we supposed to do? She's sick? That's what we're supposed to do? No, this is something that's innate in women. You feel me? And when women start really coming into their own and not being ashamed of themselves and feeling good about themselves, I'm not saying all of them just gonna walk around when they cook naked and do all that. I'm just saying, like, even I had to get comfortable. Like, yo, wow, I'm just never been around somebody who just likes me naked all the goddamn time. I got to get used to it.
Yeah. But question why it is that you have issues with these things, and there's where the awareness and the ascension comes from. When you have to start to take control of your thoughts, question your thoughts. That's what consciousness is asking. Who is it that is telling these things to your mind? You know what I mean? Like, where is that coming from? When you can actually be conscious of your breath. This is why meditation is a form of like elevated consciousness. It's literally controlling your breath, that which we operate like on autopilot innately. Say, okay, what is actually making me breathe right now?
No doubt.
How am I utilizing this breath in my body right now? What am I using it for? Setting your intention, question your thoughts, that which you have accumulated to form your perceptions. How do you broaden that? What is serving you? What is coming your way? Okay, I can go with this. I'm going to question that. How am I feeling? Understanding that feelings are temporary. All is impermanent. This is the consciousness.
No doubt.
Fact.
I'm with that, man.
We're gonna move and connect with the last set of these people. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Powerful. So
appreciate you. Right.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you too.
All right.
We took the chaos from the beginning, and I'm not talking about the sister. I actually love her contribution to the show. But it's time for the fake hugs and kisses that they say go on.
Right. Let's go one time for the end.
Oh, look at this fake love there. They said it's fake when y'all do this.
What?
They said that.
Who said that?
They said I'd be staging this so-called love in the polygamous family, and that these women don't really like each other. Look at that gorgeous writing.
It's so good. Oh, she's so happy to see that.
What's up, baby? Hey, come show them that. Because they think you lost your mind. There's so much slander for you, baby.
Why? They don't like I lost my mind.
They think you lost your mind. They think
y'all thought I ain't had no fro no more?
They think you don't like your hair. I tell them you acting, and they like, oh, you can do that. Negro. They make you shave your beard when you go to work. Cut it out. Hair on fleek. There we go. Hair on fleek. Salute. Look at my baby girl here. Look at my baby.
Oh, y'all thought I done changed, huh?
They thought you changed.
They thought I changed.
They thought you changed. They thought you changed.
Who's next? Yeah.
Okay, let's get the next person. I was just looking at the past. Look at that. Where you at, right? Come on. Give us some more of that fake love they be talking about.
Come on. Mwah. Thank you.
Thank you so
fake
much.
Love.
Look at all this fake love. Look at all this fake love.
She touched my hair.
Get the faces in the room.
Oh wait, Daddy, my afro fake, right?
The afro's fake. It's a wig. It's all fake.
It's all fake.
You know, grown men taking shots at my daughter. I'm like, yo, these guys are cowards, man. Loving the natural. Wow, that wife is fire. Hey, cut it out. No, he's See, and people go, that's what I'm talking about. Do you want people to say your wife is fire? You know what I'm saying? And I say, yo, what's wrong with that? That's great. I think it's a compliment. You want men to look at your wife? No, but
No, I want men to think that we're atrocious, hideous looking monsters.
there you go. Every man wants to feel like everyone thinks that their wives are
Yeah,
hideous.
that's why I date her, because she's hideous.
That way, no one will want her. All right. Montclair.
Is he sleeping?
Come on, Montclair.
Oh, here you go.
Hello.
What's up, King? What's your name? Where you from?
Yeah, my name is Jay. I'm from London, England.
Ah, so it's what hour is it? What time of day is it?
It's like 10 to 5 in the morning.
10 minutes to
But
5.
I'll be up this late.
You
I
was
just
up.
wanted.
This is damn near 3 in the morning.
Nice.
What's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on the video clip that you showed of the Hebrew brother talking about.
Yeah, what you think about it?
Yeah, obviously, I just thought it was a bit mad. I'm sad for him. I'm mixed, so my dad's black, my mom's white.
Okay.
I just wanted to know. I don't think I've ever.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Oh, I said that clip is the one you talk. I played several Hebrew clips. Okay, what's your take on that? About killing the mother and all that stuff. What's your take on that?
I don't know. It's sad. Obviously, I'm sure his mom hasn't seen that clip, or you just wonder the relationship that he has with his mom. If that's what he's putting out there, like for everybody else to see. It's a sad thing, to be honest. But I just wanted to know, what's your standpoint on? Obviously, I know you don't promote like mixed relationships, but for me as a brother to pursue a black woman, what's your standpoint on that? Because obviously I've got white in me.
I think it's a wise decision on your behalf. Like, you know, if I was a so-called mixed offspring, I would hope that I have the sense to go for the sister. You know, I would think that would be a wise decision. But you know, in my evolution, you know, it's gonna sound a little cliche, but you know, you can't control who people gonna love. I mean, you can educate people on why, but you can't control who. You feel me? So it's the environment, it's the opportunity, it's the education, and most importantly, it's the culture. And a lot of our people are just lost with culture. So the decisions that they make, whether they be black or white, decisions in their relationships, a lot of it is feigned anyway on account to the fact that we're lacking a cultural element where we're able to look at what took place previously and use it as a reference point. But I definitely would understand the connectivity to a sister. I would imagine if I was a white man, I would have to piss a lot of Negroes off because I have to go for the sister. That's if I'm properly educated. You know what I'm saying? And y'all would just have to be mad because I would be making some mixed babies, and I would be polygynous. But yo, you know, y'all would have to kill me. You know what I'm saying? If I was a white man, y'all would really have to shut me down because I'll catch wreck in the black community. But yeah, I'm with it. I think it's a good look. I think it's smart, you know, and all the best to you, my brother. And I mean, I appreciate you and see you as my brother. I'm just not one of those people. I know you hear things about mixed, so-called mixed people. I say mixed because, I mean, we say mixed like that thing is perfectly 50-50. But, you know, I'm sure you're probably more black than a lot of us. You feel me? So I don't even like using the term mixed, but I know it's a very popular term and everyone knows what we're talking about when we say it. So that's why I'm using it. But I don't like it. I think it's a bit demeaning because the black genes are so prevalent. Saying mixed almost compromises the truth about the black gene when we say mixed, because most of us allude to 50-50 when we say mixed. And I don't really think there's a 50-50 scenario. But then it also is the bloodline, the genealogy, and how many people in the previous generations may have mixed as well. So it's a number of permutations we got to consider. But you know, I'm always striving to see if I can find terms that more specifically address the nature of the situation and the issues at hand. But yeah, man, I thank you for staying up so late with us.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your time. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, brother. What's your name again?
J Monk.
J Monk. Thank you, my brother. I really appreciate you just staying up and just tuning in, just listening to the knowledge and listening to your brothers and sisters around the world. I think that's real cool that you did that, especially at these hours. It just shows your commitment to just truth or seeking knowledge or just connecting with your people, man, because you could be watching or doing anything else or just getting some rest. So I really, really have profound respect for you just tuning into the program tonight.
Who's next?
Yeah, you appreciate it, man. Take care, you guys, yeah?
I was thinking the same thing.
Let's go, Andre. You already know.
How's it going, Brother Polite? How's it going, Sister Wright?
Hello, how are you?
I am blessed. Thank you very much. So I have to respectfully, Sister, agree with Brother Polite on the matter of allowing a child to essentially suckle on a man's chest. Now, allow me to preface this. Allow me. You missed that part.
The whole girl was wild, but don't worry.
So a woman by the name of Amy Cuddy gave a very famous TED Talk, which provided some insight on the idea that posture changes hormone levels. And to further discussion, researchers from Columbia University and Harvard University conducted some experiments where the participants would engage in masculine postures, and then there would be the control that engaged in more restrictive postures. And they found that the ones who engaged in the masculine, so-called masculine or aggressive postures exhibited 45% more likelihood to engage in risky bets. They also noticed that there was a correlation between a decrease in cortisol and an increase in testosterone. So when Brother Polite is saying that there are certain elements in the Black community specific to Black males in terms of either homosexuality or to a lesser extent emasculinity, we have to keep in mind that certain postures, as you're probably aware, because I think you're innately a kinesthesiologist, I think you're aware of the form and movement in dance. We have to recognize that there are certain postures that are going to elicit certain responses, and not necessarily outward from other people, but inward. The animal kingdom postures to get an outward response. Humans posture and get an inward response and an inward chemical response. And I can think of no more posture that would both lower cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and also lower testosterone, which we all know what that is, than a man allowing a baby to suckle on his chest. And since testosterone does not replenish itself quickly, this is not a behavior that we can allow, even if it were to work, because physiologically it would inhibit the man in his position just because it emasculates. Whether you would find it funny as an anecdotal moment or not, prolonged engagement of this particular posture, whether you label it feminine or not, is more than likely going to present in the man effeminate behavior. Now, it doesn't mean he's going to be holding pocketbooks and wanting to date men or whatever, but just the posture alone. And with that in mind, if you just want to focus on whether the baby's comfortable, fine. But recognize that there's going to be a physiological payload in the form of this man being less testosterone and less cortisol, which inhibits leadership ability. If we're lowering the testosterone, we're lowering leadership.
Put it in context of Black men in the hood, they could probably use some less stress hormone and some less testosterone.
I would say that would be, I would agree. On the one hand, I would agree. The problem is,
context. of the community and the culture, and not necessarily something that, like you said, it's not an ongoing behavior. But I mean, if we're just speaking in theory as of right now, like, oh, it's a possibility. Oh, it may perhaps. And I'm like, well, you know,
No.
if that's the case, then all these niggas in the hood could possibly use a little laughing anecdote of a baby latched to their bosom to decrease some cortisol and some testosterone and some less aggressive postures.
But the problem is that lower testosterone in males is not a healthy condition for a male.
I mean, but it's and
So
how much of this testosterone is being decreased? You know what I'm saying? Like, that plays a role too. I mean, when we start, like I said, if we're going to go down that road, everything is like, hypothetically speaking, possibility. You know what I mean? Like, is as soon as he suckles on a breast for 2 seconds, now all of a sudden he's completely emasculated? Had the testosterone
No, but I think
become so low that he's now out of chemical balance as a man, and now is wanting to exercise gender change?
Possibly. Why is that a risk that we want to take? I mean, I don't want to take that risk. I don't want to take that risk. I think
that's all I'm saying.
I just don't want to take that risk. And I think there's enough science.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on. I'm just saying, I think there's enough science. Hold on. If I may, I think there's enough science to where, okay, we may not be able to quantify the milliliter of the hormone that's being reduced, but there's enough science to say that it's going in the wrong direction. Now, allow me to offer an alternative to what may soothe the baby. Dr. Robert Hamilton calls this technique the hold. And if you Google it or go to YouTube, How to Calm a Crying Baby, Dr. Hamilton. It's a technique that is virtually 100%. And it allows a male to soothe a baby without this baby having to touch this man's chest. And it is perfectly healthy. It is perfectly reasonable. And it is non-controversial, non-invasive. I have a little 3-year-old girl, right? And I let her sleep with me. But I'm going to tell you what, the minute that she arches her back, there's a pillow that's going to go between us. Not because I don't trust myself, but that's appropriate as far as I'm concerned. That's appropriate behavior. If she's sitting in my lap, she's sitting a certain kind of way. It's just a certain posture, because I don't want her to learn that to be comfortable with that with another male when I'm not around. Now, my son is the only one that I may let her go to the bathroom. That's because I'm in school right now, so I'll be teaching next year, and I'm driving Uber. I did like 14 hours, so I need his help sometimes when my daughter's around. If it weren't for that, I wouldn't even let him get close. And I just think because we got to, particularly with a young man, we got to deal with their hormones too. The reality is, like you said, there's a lot of people who are not operating on that higher frequency.
Right.
So, and I don't think that this has to be this has to apply to everybody who it doesn't fit. But when you're dealing with the general populace, there are certain behaviors that we have to be careful with our daughters. And I'm just careful with my own daughter in that regard. So that's how I feel about that. And all jokes aside, I really do believe that there is science that indicates certain postures elicit certain responses in men and in women.
I mean, but that's all based upon what we that these postures stand for. If you have a person
wait. I missed that. Say it again.
I wish you could.
Wait. Somebody's talking. I can't hear you.
Hey, put your joint on mute.
Sorry. I wanted to ask Andre a question real quick. My bad. I didn't know I unmuted myself.
Don't worry. I'm going to have you come in right after him, right after this.
I mean, it all is predicated on what we believe these postures to mean. So if I'm always like this, you know what I'm saying, then we start to generate these thoughts and these ideas that this is supposed to make me be more aggressive. So then we start to reenact on these thoughts, and we start associating the feelings and these behaviors based upon if we're always like this. But if I was taught growing up that this means I'm ready to hug the shit out of you, then I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying, then I'm not going to, my testosterone is not going to go high. If anything, my cortisol levels are going to go low, and I'm going to be happy because I was taught that this means I'm about to hug the shit out of everybody. You know what I'm saying? So all this plays a role into the perception of what we were taught an aggressive behavior is, or what an aggressive posture is. So like that has to play a role. For example, just as if, and it's in context to wherever it was, just like this is not always peace across the United States, just as this does not mean Black power all across the United States. I mean, all across the world. So if we're taking in cultural context, like for example, behaviors in men, it is nothing for a man to wrap a baby on his back and chest and hip in a sling. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely nothing for a man to take initiative to do things with the women, the baby girls. And I found that people ask me often when I was in Ghana and I was in the villages, what did I find the most interesting? The most interesting was the attentiveness to the men of the children, with the children. The initiative that they took with my daughter was like something I had never seen before. They were putting her in and out of the taxis. It wasn't the women, it was the men and the children. The women were also very supportive. If they would pick her up and carry, but the men also wrapped Shannon. The men also picked her up and fed her. You know, it wasn't something that was like, no, that's just what the women do, because we're masking ourselves in these contexts. But of course, in the US, we have perceived that these postures are something that is feminine. You know what I'm saying? This is something that is that. So of course, and like you, as it all plays a role in what you were saying and what POLIGHT was saying in cultural context of our mindsets of where it is that we're operating from.
I will say that I would agree with most of what you said, but I do believe that there are some postures, gesture that are universal. So while I do understand what you're saying, and you could definitely list 20 or 30 postures that are different. In some cultures, a smile is pleasant, and some cultures, a smile will get you killed. I agree with that, but I do think there are some postures that are universal. Now, I was going to talk about that clip, but since I didn't see that clip, I don't want to talk about it too much, except that it just sounds like sort of a backlash to the empowerment of the woman, the Black woman, the ascension of the Black woman in educational circles, creative circles. So that sounds like a backlash. But since I haven't seen the video, I kind of don't need to see it because I grew up in churches. So whether it's not necessarily taught on the pulpit, I've seen enough pastors that exercise that behavior at home. So I kind of don't need to see that video. But I definitely understand what some of the people have been speaking about today. So the last thing I wanted to ask you, Brother POLIGHT, I am allergic to iodine. So that pretty much eliminates my ability to consume bladderwrack. So do you have any alternatives that are as nutritious for someone like myself who can't ingest seafoods, who's trying to get on a more healthy track? That's the first question. Second, do you have a link to that video on mathematics in terms of not guessing about one's nature, one's future, one's abilities, but actually being able to calculate these things? Can you give me more information on where to find that information?
I'll put that link in the description, and then I also got a book called Solar Numerology. You can get that from 2012stores.com. And you can take as a herb, as far as not being able to take in the bladderwracks, you can take in Cascara sagrada. There's a herb called Cascara sagrada. You could take that. It's very bitter, but if you take that and eat avocados, that'll work out pretty good as far as what you idealistically are trying to replace the bladderwracks with.
Okay.
All right.
I thank you very much for your time.
No doubt, man. Let me get the sister right here. Sister, you're gonna close out for us. Antoine, what's up? Sister, you're gonna close out for us. We ready for you. Your mic been off and on. We ready for you now. You close out for us. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing great, sister. Tell them where you from, for those who don't know.
Okay, I am officially Jessica J. That's my name. I am from Chicago, but I live in South Carolina.
Yes.
For one, I apologize. I did not mean to butt in. I was, whatever. I got a lot going on over here. I'm ready to eat. But one, I can't. You already know, POLIGHT. You POLIGHT. I be following you. You be seeing my posts. Shout out to the family. I'm sorry, Queens. Let me acknowledge y'all first. Shout out to y'all, Miss Ashley. And I don't know the other one's name, but I see her all the time.
Amanette?
No, that's not Amanette.
Riot.
That's I'm sorry.
Riot.
Riot.
Okay.
Okay, my bad. My sister is here with me too. My sister is polygynous. So that was like my main introduction to polygyny or whatever.
I've been telling her to follow you, Polite.
Hey.
Finally, just now coming away.
I've been awake. I just didn't know.
No, I'm delving into the science of it from a biological fitness aspect of it, from a nature aspect of it, so we can stop looking at it from a humanoid ability. So you are the precedent of when I was teaching her about how I see polygyny.
Enunciate your words correctly, because we got some animals in the chat. She said precedent, not president, for those of y'all who don't understand English yet.
And I said polygyny and
Thank
not
you.
polygamy. There's
Okay.
a big difference.
Big difference.
You at Polite, you're the ones in the Black conscious community that when we speak about it, that it is generalized as polygamy, but there is a big difference, and you show and prove that.
That's a fact. That's why I always say to keep that.
So for one, you know, I be everywhere with it. I agree with Asa. I know she's. Let me start with Andre real quick. You said about the posture of a man with a child suckling on him. Do you mean just literally the posture or the actual physical skin to skin connection? Because the reason why I ask is because I had seen somewhere, I be everywhere. I had seen somewhere where a man had a prosthetic mold of his wife's breast, and it was the type of mold where he can put milk inside of it, and he strapped it on to feed his child. So of course it was a cave beast, so I don't know if that matters or not, but would that still fall into the same line as the posture, or would it fall into the line? Does it not count if it's skin? Ain't no man sticking no titty in my child's mouth. Point blank. And the period. And I'm with you, Polite.
That's what I want.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you, Polite.
And I know why
man.
I know why you saying that, Polite.
Ain't no
There's
man.
brothers in the conscious community teaching that. You know what I'm saying? I know why you said we there. We know who he is.
Yeah.
But there are those in the conscious community, and I still keep in contact with our brother. Yeah, it's brothers that are teaching because of the memory glands that you can actually, a man can breastfeed a child. If the woman wasn't pregnant.
Can we just
I'm not with it. I'm not with it. My question for Andre was, does he mean literally the posture in holding a child, or is it the actual skin to skin and the child sucking on the actual flesh? That was my question for Andre. I don't know if he wants to address that or not, but
people are not
Polite. I cannot.
I don't-
It drives. Go ahead, Andre.
Are we all right to answer this? Can I answer or no?
Do your thing.
Okay, so I was more. I mean, it's all wrapped up in one. It's the body contact. All right, so now we all know that skin to skin contact is healthy for a baby,
Yes.
right?
Across
We
the
know
board.
this 100%. I don't have problem one. I don't have problem one with that. But when you start to mix in the posture of holding a child. I mean, let's just say, you're just holding the like as a single father. I'm a single father with my son, right? My daughter lives with my ex-wife. So as Brother Polite was saying, at a certain point, I had to start to kind of tap into. We're more accustomed to women who tap into the more masculine side of things, to be the father that's not there.
Mm-hmm.
So to a certain extent, consciously, subconsciously, I had to do the same thing in reverse. I'm saying that over a period of time, you're going to do the best that you can, but I do believe that certain posture over time can contribute to the addition of effeminate qualities.
Stop it right now.
Because it's going to affect certain postures. I missed that.
I gotta raise my hand on that.
Well, hold on. Let me at least let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
Scientifically, certain postures affect how we think, whether that posture is culturally understood or whether it is natural and innate to human beings. It's going to elicit a hormonal response. That's scientifically proven. Therefore, until such time as the culture in question no longer views this as a specifically female action, it's going to elicit a response in a man's mind. It's going to elicit a hormonal change in a man's mind that I don't think is healthy over time. Whether it may very well be extremely healthy for the baby, but I think over time for a male it won't be.
Holding a child is now a feminine posture.
I think letting a child suck on your nipple is definitely a feminine posture.
Okay, but holding a child, because the positioning's the same. So holding a child is now feminine.
No, letting a child suck on the nipple is feminine.
Okay, but you specifically said holding a child, the posture of holding a child over time.
That was my question, Miss Wright, because he said posture.
And I would have to go with that. The reason why I want to explain to that, because, and I'm just going to use POLIGHT for this example, that now you're talking maternal and paternal instinct. And as you can see, POLIGHT has a very paternal instinct. And sometimes a man's paternal instinct, some women can get overthrown by that. And we are seeing in our conscious community and outside of that where men who, I've known some men who have very strong paternal instincts, and the mother feel like her instinct is supposed to be stronger because she carries the baby. So when you're talking about posture, I would have to stick with the paternal care and the maternal care. They're in balance. But that's not to say that the father can't hold that, that child in posture and do just as much, or if get the child to stop crying.
Right.
Right, I agree with that. I agree with that. No, I didn't mean to insinuate that a man can't hold the baby. I didn't mean to insinuate that. I don't think a man should let a baby suck on his nipple. No, but but the question was about the question included baby sucking on a man. So while I might not have reiterated that, but that was the question that I got, so that's what I was answering.
Sister here had specifically said, like, whoa.
But she did say strap on a nipple, didn't she?
But then bring out feminine qualities in a man, and
she did say strap on a nipple, right? You did say that the man strapped on a fake breast, and that you wouldn't let a man suck on a breast. So in my mindset, that was included, because if you roll the tape back. If you roll the tape back, you'll see that I said it is all included. I said that.
Okay.
I was not just talking about a baby holding man. If you play back, you'll see that's what I'm saying.
Got you.
Okay. I will silence myself now.
We got get ready.
One last thing I want to say. In what I have noticed being a newbie in the conscious community, everybody say I'm new to it, whatever. I don't give a fuck. But what exactly are we supposed to be conscious of? Because what and this is something I told my sister today, you'll see on my Instagram where I'm walking 1.5 miles carrying my pizza box on my head, like no hands. Like I'm walking just balancing my pizza box on my head, and everybody is ooh and ah and this and that. And I'm like, you can go anywhere in the world right now and they're carrying whole barrels on their head. So what exactly is the conscious community conscious of if everything that you're worried about is POLIGHT's zip code or
how many wives
he have, or the little confused chick that says that she big ups to the pole dancing but don't keep your clothes on? What exactly are we supposed to be conscious of at this point in time? Because my idea of being conscious is going back to our roots and being who we are supposed to be as a people, as the first people of this entire world, where everybody is biting off of us so much, and even to the point where here in America we don't even know who we are at all. Like I walked 2 miles with a pizza box on my head and everybody was acting like I was Superwoman. Well, for one, I am Superwoman, but for two, no black people should be surprised that I was walking with a pizza box on my head. So it's just like, what exactly are y'all conscious of? Are y'all conscious of the politics that's going on? Maybe that people need to step back and kind of reiterate what the consciousness is supposed to be about, for one. before you go and try to dig into somebody else's lifestyle and try to pick apart their lifestyle when evidently you have no idea what you're talking about, because for the most part, America is the only country that has a problem with polygyny to a certain extent, because people that actually have a brain know you can go anywhere in Huckleberry Finn, Utah, and it's a whole bunch of white folks that's shacking up, you know what I'm saying, and calling themselves polygynous and calling themselves this and calling themselves that, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like everybody is jocking off of us so much to the point where we don't even know who we are, but you call yourself conscious. You call yourself conscious, or they were, go ahead, Miss Wright.
You know, consciousness for me is understanding that everybody is on a different journey to awareness. You know what I'm saying? It's just an increase. It's a conscious choice. It's a deliberate choice to choose to grow and be of accepting and understanding of what is. Choosing to be present. You know what I'm saying? Because when you start deviating from the present, you tend to fall into a whole bunch of lies associated with feelings and thoughts that are not happening and may not even happen, which you're no longer in the present sense. So like, but when we talk about just consciousness of understanding who we are as Black people, that's just a whole nother realm. You know, some people don't even just leave that, which tends to be, once again, a whole nother religious type of association and doctrine of which they're subscribing to. It's just like, it's no, only African and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I come from a very different perspective and understanding of what I believe consciousness to be. Understanding, you know, just even in African, people are barely coming into more and more information of who they are as African people. We have all these women here in the United States that are of African descent, yet people still coo and ah of the fact that I wear my baby with fabric. All I need is 2 yards of fabric and I can wrap Shannon up all kinds of ways on my body. You know how many Black mothers can't do that? Even African mothers that are here, they're just like, how the fuck is that even possible? Yeah,
they go to Walmart and they buy some bullshit off the rack that looks like,
right. And then they have all these different contraptions to carry, you know what I'm saying? And that is, I think, is another level of consciousness. But this is all information that we're all acquiring as best as we can. And for those who are understanding of that, I believe are operating at a higher frequency and understand that everybody's just trying to do the best that they can with what they have access to. And so at any point in time, when we see our sister who's struggling, or we see the opportunity to teach and share and give, then I think that we should do so, and understanding that those who perceive themselves as conscious should be receptive to that which you continue to elevate them and their understanding. So
that's Peace Queen. We're gonna let y'all go out. I would have to add on to that for the simple fact that she and I will be doing some YouTube videos. Because we have to understand that people have different cultures just within the brotherhood and the sisterhood. There's many different cultures, because we all have our own, I call them spiritual vehicles to understanding truth.
Yes.
Or whatever you want to call as far as levels of consciousness.
Yeah,
I personally,
himself, and that's ultimately what it is. Like, who is the person that brings these thoughts, questioning that which is our belief system put into us? You know what I mean? Like, I tell people, like, you know, it's certain conversations, you know, like, do you even know which foot you start off walking with? You know, like, are you familiar with what walking meditation is? Do you understand, like, when you're standing still, are you
meditation, all that?
You know what I'm saying? Like, and these things people just don't even have access to. Some people can't even sit still long enough. People are still are ignorant to what meditation is. They feel like they're ready to throw in the towel because they can't control the mind. And I'm like, or they still have their mind going and they're misunderstanding what meditation is and how it's a continued growth process. So I just like understanding your true self as a spiritual being, not that which is just your physical presence.
Indeed, indeed. Indeed, you're real deep. I'm glad to see your face, and like I said, you know, my sister been following. She is a diehard Polite fan. Oh my. But I've been watching.
Polite and family. Every time y'all see my comments, I'll be like, shout out to Polite and family. All of y'all.
I've been watching him since day one. So you know, even when he has his little frictions with his brothers, I'm like, girl, bye. I know they about to do this, do that. Girl, by the time I don't get into that brother stuff, they brothers, they gonna be all right. Right. And as soon as it happened, the show and the brotherly love came back. I was like, I'm used to it.
I'm
used to it.
You guys are done with your breakup because of your bromances.
Yeah, so she's getting a full aspect of with the social media. and how the platform is put together, and how, you know, all of them have pushed from the beginning the economics into the Black conscious community. So it was nice to see, she got to see what I've already seen.
So
she got to see it here played out. So it's beautiful that I can see you come, you know, just to see you blossom, and everybody, just to see you blossom, and to breastfeed. I'm a big breastfeeder too. I'm like, breastfeed them till they can't breastfeed no more. So it's a lot that my sister, she's able to see from different many aspects, because my spiritual vehicles with the 5% Nation of Guys and Earths. But that I'm not teaching her to be an earth with the nation. She's just an earth, period. But she has to come into awareness of what that is, or who she is, or you know what I'm saying? So she travels on her own. She listens to POLIGHT on her own. So I'm just jumping in, you know, but I've always followed POLIGHT. So I follow all my brothers, you know, so I'm able to tell her, or I can tell you who teaches that the Black man can breastfeed. I already know when POLIGHT, he laughed about that. I already know who it was. So.
And that's what he was saying, like the reason he's like, I already know people were gonna go far left with what that guy and you were saying, because he was telling me a couple of years ago, some guy, I mentioned that, and I'm like, what? Like, because I'm like, where are people getting this idea that I said that Black men should be breastfeeding? Like, where did that come from? And he was like, I'll tell you in a bit. He was like,
he'll fill you in.
All of a sudden, man and nipple, people already start searching with Black men should be breastfeeding based upon a guy who once said that they should. And I was like, shut the fuck up.
He has the science to back it up. Look at what they do. We're gonna let y'all go. We're gonna let y'all go. Get back to the
coming from. And I'm like, what is this whole thing that everybody's now fixated on, like, and then switching the narrative that I said Black men should be breastfeeding? Like, where did that come from?
People are afraid that that's going to happen again, that conversation. We had to get that conversation out the community. We was afraid it was sneaking back in.
Well, I tell you what, we gonna come back and bring it up, and we gonna bang on it. We gonna bang on it.
Like,
for those of y'all talking about my damn pizza, is your kids present?
I have one child.
Okay, let me guard my tongue. For those of y'all talking about my pizza, first of all, baby, okay, I don't eat pork. I never have eaten pork. I was actually raised Jewish. Therefore, I've never eaten pork a day in my life. It is not Hawaiian pizza, sweetheart. It's buffalo chicken pizza. Call it whatever you want to call it. Didn't nobody buy my damn pizza? And I don't care that I wasn't trying to drop my pizza. Who wants to drop their food, sweetheart, that they paid money for? Walking a mile to go and get it to begin with.
And carried it on her
So let's
head.
just go there with it. And then, second of all, thank y'all so much for taking time out of y'all busy lives to, you know what I'm saying, just talk with people, even though that evidently looking at the chat that they're not appreciative of it. Half of them are. I just want to say that I'm glad that y'all don't really feed into the negativity and just keep letting the positive people boost y'all's energy and just love on y'all, because, you know, it's evident that, you know, the animals are going to be animals and they're going to be everywhere. And I said it, and ain't nothing nobody going to do about it. All you're going to do is be mad and tweet about it and post about it and all that. And so, big whoop, get your life, son, daughters, kings, queens. Do something else with yourself than worry about somebody else's vernacular.
Maybe
okay?
they need some extra husbands, some extra wives.
My sister said maybe if y'all need some extra husbands or extra wives, or actually a man or woman in your life, you won't be worried about the stuff that's coming out of people's mouth. But I'm gonna leave that there, and I'm gonna talk to y'all on that. I be on every live stream. Since like September, I think it was. I've been on every single live stream. I've been on y'all's page, but POLIGHT said he's done with it. So
where that baby at?
Which baby? Her baby? Her baby off to the side.
Okay.
And I hit you up, and you told me to hit you up the last time, POLIGHT. I hit you up, but you hadn't hit me back yet. I know you've been busy.
Let's get that in again. I gotta zip out of here. I gotta head out. I got an engagement I gotta deal with.
Peace.
We'll definitely connect. Hit me up again on at least on the gram. I'll look for the DM right now if you send it to me. Peace.
Right now, I got you.
Thank y'all for tuning in. This has been excellent as always. Appreciate you all.
Bye.